There you go. Boom. So we have some fan art again from Glass Rose
Yes.
from last session. Bear stealing some of Tom's ice cream.
Nope.
Nom,
Nope.
nom.
Nope. See.
Hey, look over there. Nom 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 nom.
Perfect. Um. Oh, give me just a moment so I can tweet, and then we'll get started. While I'm copying and pasting links, my friends, do you have any questions before we start the session?
I do have one, actually.
Okay.
And this might be more for Al's personal information or maybe the groups. I don't think he would share the knowledge one way or the other. But when the Northern Gun, Leon and the others were discussing with the group that they
Lionel,
feel...
you mean?
Lionel, sorry.
Yeah.
Where they felt that the Hell Riders were more than just two gangs bound together, that maybe one of their competitors or a government was involved.
Yes.
Would Al know enough? Because I know, like, for example, different governments have different ways of doing subterfuge. They have things that they prefer or have methods that are particular to them. Would Al know, does this sound like a coalition type thing? Like they might do it this way, or like the coalition prefers other types of subterfuge?
Well, you would know. All you would know is that funding a rogue element to destabilize an enemy is a common tactic in espionage, period.
That's
It is
true.
a common thing done by many governments. So yes, it is definitely in the coalition's playbook. There are many things in the coalition's playbook. Some of those you know about, some of these that you don't know about. You just weren't given the higher reaches of their tactical or strategic planning,
But
especially as a trained spy. But it is definitely, but it is also probably in the playbook of many, many nations.
okay. So from Al's point of view, it's like, yeah, I mean, it could be them. It could also be a dozen people.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Okay.
Wait, I
There you
have
go.
a question. I
Mhm.
remember that I'm disguising myself to be a call lady.
Yes.
Why am I doing that?
Just for fun.
Well,
You
we
just
got
thought-
50% of the way there.
To further your corn packing career.
God.
No,
Oh,
shut up.
God.
Okay, so let me give you
You're
an
lying.
actual answer, which is one of the individuals who's been named as leadership is a fellow named Jester Keaton. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah.
A man with crude jokes who's been known to make people disappear.
So we're
And-
trying to catch him.
Yes, catch him, and that was your newest and most important mission by the Office of Loss Prevention of the Northern Gun.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I remember now.
To capture, interrogate, and then hand that fucker over. So,
In
any other
pieces.
questions?
I
Not
They'd
for
rather
me.
be alive.
I think I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm good.
I will take all your... Piph, are you here? I know you muted yourself because you're eating, but are you listening? Can you hear us?
Oh no, I'm not muted at
Okay,
the moment.
great.
I've just been
For a
abnormally
second, I
quiet.
thought you were going to say, oh no, I'm not listening.
I
Oh,
can't
okay,
hear
good.
Okay.
Which is really funny because you'd have to listen to respond to that question.
I'm as I said, I'm a little tired, but I'm here.
Okay.
Oh, I actually do have a question.
Oh, okay.
Now that I
All
think
right.
about it. Say during that 12 or so hours that we had downtime,
Uh-huh.
we've been cleared for certain things like wearing body armor and all that. I don't think I would do that. However, would they clear us to wear our magical amulets, the PPE
No.
batteries?
The PPE batteries?
Mm-hmm.
If it's just a PPE battery, yes.
Okay.
No other magical devices that have any sort of out of
MDC
character
potential.
MDC capability. In character, they say a certain level of magical power.
Okay. Then Al would, assuming it's acceptable, at some point he would have gone back to the ship to grab one of those batteries.
Yep. Not a problemo.
Cool.
So, here's my thoughts. I really do like starting sessions off in the heart of the action. So we're going to zoom ahead to the scene at night at this construction yard. And you guys can tell me what you are going to plan, what you have planned over the few hours that have passed between when we left off last session and this point now, narratively. You know what I mean? Whatever prep work you want to do, we'll discuss it, and then we're gonna just dive right the fuck in. Sound good?
Good.
So, what prep work, if any, would you like to do before the actual meeting between the disguised Mila and Jester Keaton?
Probably get a lay of the area and make sure we know where all the blind spots and wherever are, where you'd be likely to take Mila and so forth.
Okay. So, who would you have case out the place, so to speak?
I'd go.
Okay. Anyone else?
Well, I think Patrick would be really good at the act of mapping things out. I just don't know how secretly he would be doing it. So there's your pros and cons.
I don't think being secretive at this point would matter too much.
Al would definitely want to go with Lavin, second
Okay.
pair of eyes. And Al would also ask, probably would have asked during the meeting or contact them later. Unless Ellie/Mila has another method of subduing this guy, do they have any sort of method of subtly delivering a sleeping agent, like a ring with a pin in it or something like that she could prick him with?
It is something that you'd have to supply on your own. What they are willing to offer you is in Mr. Clean's inventory.
Okay. Well, I do have sleep doses. I mean, I'm a doctor after all. But I don't have the mechanical know-how to make a device. Perhaps another character.
I have a tranquilizer rifle.
True. And I hadn't forgotten about that. But the more methods we have of doing it, the better off we are.
Here's the thing:
okay,
you
yeah.
only have about 4 hours. 4-5 hours if you rush it, if you hurry up. If you have, for example, I know you're implying Piph makes something up for you, then he will not have time to effectively map out this area.
That would be up to Piph. I mean, we don't need one. It's like I said, it's just the
No.
more options we have.
Well, on that note, actually, mechanically speaking, in Rifts, or however you guys do it or whatever, how does lethal damage work in this? Like, can you just say, I choose to do non-lethal damage now? Or, like, can you accidentally kill somebody?
You can pull your punches and whatnot, and you can aim for areas that aren't critical, for example, and that would be a modified roll. Pretty much, instead of doing, say, for example, your punch does 2d4 MDC plus 8 for your damage, right? If you pull it, it just does 1d4 SDC. And so what you can do is you can pummel a person until they pass out from the pain. That's one way you do it. Another way you do it is you could try to knock someone off with blows to the head, but that, of course, is dangerous. You could accidentally kill them, pretty much like you roll a d20. And depending on your hand-to-hand skill, for most people, you need like a natural 20 to knock them out cold. For others, or those who have the boxing trait or a lot of ranks in hand-to-hand expert or martial arts, it can go as high as like 17, 18, 19, 20 on a d20 to just instantly knock them out.
And as we found out hilariously in the past in this game, it can be actually pretty hard to try and knock someone out by punching them.
It
really
is,
can.
and that's actually
Yeah.
as designed in the system. Someone actually did ask about it, and Kevin Simbita gave a very funny, long-winded, kind of anecdotal answer of people trying to knock this guy out, and they just kept punching him in the head and for information until he nearly died on them, but he just didn't knock out. So, of course, chemical agents, psionic powers, magic spells also can be used to knock someone out too. But if you're talking about physically, yes, you can pull your punches. And yes, you can aim for areas to debilitate but not kill.
Okay,
For example, I don't care if like a knife does mega damage. If you're just cutting off his finger, sure, that's 1 mega damage to his finger, but that's not going to kill a man, even though the mega damage is more than the overall SDC.
He just
That's just a
explodes
finger
because he
that's
cut off
cut.
his finger.
Exactly. That makes no sense, right?
Yeah.
But if it's a mega dagger in their torso, then yeah, that's probably going to kill him. So,
Mhm.
so you can be creative with this.
Well, basically, what I'm hearing is that knocking him out by beating him up is probably not the best way to go. But there's also, we did that crazy adhesive carpet thingy on Metal Man. Do we
Oh,
have
yeah.
to knock him out, or we just have to restrain him and get him out of there, right?
Well, what we need is to interrogate him. That's utmost
Right.
what we need to do.
Okay,
we can-
here's the. Go ahead.
No.
Here's the main obstacle. There's a not presently there but close bodyguard. So if he has a chance to yell, we're dealing with an MDC creature.
Even if you hit him with a sleeping agent, it's not instant.
Yeah, and
Unless he doesn't know.
I had an interesting idea about that bodyguard that I wanted to run by you guys. It might be crazy, might be useful. Adhesive carpet, just like we saw last time. I mean, you can hold him in place, but there's some downsides to it. Namely, he can still see us. You know, he can still see where we go. He can still see who we are and what we did. I had an interesting idea that could effectively neutralize him for a small period of time.
Adhesive carpet his face?
Well,
He can't breathe then.
yeah, well,
Spider-Man.
like, and besides, I don't want to just use adhesive carpet all the time. That's out of character.
Mm,
But
okay.
but I had a thought. I can cast energy barrier, which basically doesn't let people enter or leave until the barrier falls, which is like 60 MDC. If we cast energy barrier around him and then brought like a large tarp and just covered it with a tarp, we'd have however much time it takes him to get through it to do whatever we wanted, and he couldn't see.
How long is that? Like, how long does energy barrier last? And can you see through it?
Well, I'm pretty
it's
sure.
invisible field.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Or
at the
near
very least
invisible.
translucent. Yeah, I think it's like slightly blue translucent.
Yeah.
Let me look up the rounds. If he has mega damage weapons, it's 60 MDC to punch through it. However, the energy field itself lasts 1 minute per level of experience, so it'd be 5 minutes or until destroyed.
Well, I'm missing. I think I must be missing something because I'm picturing the energy field pop, and then there's Cyborg guy like right outside it, like, "Hey, now I'm gonna
No,
kill you, dudes."
in it, like
In it.
cast it around the
He's-
cyborg guy.
He's saying like make it a cage.
Oh,
Make it
trap
prisoner.
him in it. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And then
I
just
got
throw
you.
a tarp over it hilariously.
Yeah, because my thought would be he's probably got some sort of mega damage. You already raised that concern, rightly so.
Yeah.
But to have something in that city that does 60 MDC quickly would be a hell of a feat. You know what I mean? He's probably got something that can do it, but we should have
That's a
enough
fair
time.
assumption. Like a big ass rifle, he's not going to be carrying that out in the open.
And if we just throw a tarp over it, he might be able to hear some stuff, but he wouldn't be able to see or know what direction we did or where we left or anything.
Unless he had super sensitive hearing because he's a cyborg.
That is a possibility.
But yeah, I hear what you're saying. That at least
He is a cyborg, yeah.
trapping him in that field seems like a good idea, almost regardless of what happens. You know, shit goes ugly.
Mhm.
That's handy to have.
So, in regards to this initial planning phase, I think you guys do want to case it out the area.
Mhm.
So, we digressed a little bit from asking Piph if he would like to spend his time making a nice, sturdy, reliable, subtle pin ring, or to help map out the area.
Which would you like to do, Piph?
Patrick would note that he would probably need a ring first. Making one of those from scratch would take most of the time. So actually having one already made would be extremely helpful.
You'd have to go out and buy one, which would burn an hour for whoever the shopper was.
I can buy one.
Well,
Would there-
Would there be anything that Patrick could work on while the ring is being gotten, like the rest of the mechanism, or would he need the ring from the get-go?
He wouldn't. He could work with it in parts, but it wouldn't be as sturdy.
Hmm.
He would probably need a ring and then basically kind of manipulate a something that's on it, like without actually knowing what ring he's using either. It's not going to be not as helpful. But yeah, no, he could still work on things. It's just I'm not quite sure exactly how helpful it would be.
Yeah, good point.
To be honest, I think our best option is probably going to have Patrick be mapping things out, because there's not enough time, I don't think.
You think? I don't know, because like the only option I have then is to like punch him profusely until he passes out.
Yeah, and
Well-
without that, the only way we've taken him out is the trank gun.
See, here's the tricky thing with the ring. It like if it's literally just welding a needle onto a ring, that's no problem. But you need the needle to be a small injector as well. It's not just like this knockout, this sedative that you have, this medical sedative. It isn't like a poison where just a trace of it's going to affect him.
Yeah.
It needs to be a
You have to have a
significant
dose.
dose. So that has to be in the ring, and you have to have like a mechanism, like a needle, to plunge it into him. So yes, it requires someone who's mechanically gifted. Mm-hmm.
Could I use it? Could I just Altair it? Like, could I keep it up a sleeve and then like
Yeah,
just
Like a
you got
needle
sleight of
bring it
hand.
up?
a
Yeah,
sleeve?
just,
Yeah,
needle
yeah,
up the
yeah,
sleeve, and then
Oh.
you
You
just
have
let it
some
come out.
sort of sleight
I
of
mean-
hand or concealment? If you have either of those,
Let me
that would
take
be
a look.
Yeah.
Another option you could do is to essentially try and grapple him to sleep. Put him in a sleeper hold.
Oh, like
WWF style.
Essentially put one hand
I mean,
over his
it's
mouth
definitely a possibility.
and
I
one
probably
make
do
sure
it.
one arm is up, and you just hold him there until the blood flow is cut off, and then he goes limp.
You know, it's a good point. If she knows how to do it in the
Oh my
military,
god,
That-
you
that
have
is-
palming.
Yeah.
You have
Oh, I
palming,
do.
yeah. So yeah, you can definitely palm the needle easily. You can like hide it on your body somewhere, and then when you need it, just subtly palm it into your hand.
I can do that.
I will let you know, Bern, like in real life in the military, because they taught us sleeper holds. The upside is if you get a right chokehold, it can take seconds to knock them
Yeah.
out because you're cutting off the blood flow. The
Mhm.
downside is they can wake up in seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Like you don't knock them out for minutes like you do in movies.
Yeah, I know. It's only going to be like 20 seconds,
Well,
but
that's like, but that's a good like if the needle
yeah.
thing doesn't
It's
a
work,
good
that's a
backup,
good. Yeah, exactly.
Plus, it'd
Um,
probably be more satisfying.
And you're like, go to sleep, you fucker.
Oh well, my geez. Yeah, he's something. Anyway,
there is something that I
Alright.
would like to do within the 4 hours.
okay.
I would want to just figure out if Mr. Clean can do silencers or suppressors.
If he has suppressors,
Yes. And if within the 4 hour time span could apply it to a 30-06.
oh,
It's a tight one.
That's
you even suppress the
there's
30-06?
the rub. They might be able to, if not him, then other merchants could
Mhm.
sell suppressors, but those are typically for pistols or submachine guns.
Mhm.
One for like a shotgun or a rifle. The amount of force coming out of that barrel requires a custom suppressor.
Yeah, you have to
And
you
that
have to put a large
They could get for
suppressor.
you, but not within 4 hours.
Okay.
That's
All right,
just
then-
too much of a specialty item, and it's too close of time, I'm afraid.
Okay.
But earmark that, because if that's something you do want to get for the future, when we have,
Oh, yeah, I
when you
definitely
have
do.
more time to actually shop and ask around and
Yeah.
and find this specialty item. It is located in Ishpeming, so I'm not saying it's not here. It's just you're not going to be able to find it in 4 hours.
Oh yeah.
Bern, you and I might want to do that together because I'm when I level up very, very soon, I'm probably planning on taking rifles, so I'd want one as well.
All right,
So
cool.
maybe we'll make a trip of it.
Yeah.
All right,
I
make
mean,
a
I
note of that.
can-
Okay.
I can show you what to get and all of that stuff. So,
Mhm.
anyways.
Okay. All right. So we have Lavin and Al, who are going to case out the under construction Robodome. Sorry. Now that you believe that there's no need for a ring, and Mila can just palm a needle with that sleeping agent in it. Patrick, do you want to come and assist in mapping things out?
Patrick will, yeah, he'll try to help.
Okay. All right. So let's go over that, narratively speaking, right now. So I would like, well, first of all, let's color this. Let's qualify this a little bit. Okay. Are there any skills you guys want to overtly use while doing this from your characters? We can do a small skill check, and that will, enhance the information that you get. It could be something very similar, like if you're casing out a position and you don't want people to know or raise up any sort of alarm or suspicion. Obviously, prowl and streetwise could be really handy. Obviously, mapping requires mathematics. But I'm up for other creative suggestions as well.
I like the idea of prowl and mathematics for the mapping. Also, question, minor pandering to the GM. Would there be any, because Al's been doing this, getting a lot of practice lately the past few days by mapping out every place that we've been going to for escape routes and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Will there be a modifier to that?
Minor pandering.
Well, yeah, it's not really pandering. It's something that you're being sensitive to. Are you planning on using a skill, or do you want to just do an unskilled, like, casing out? Like, I will thank you for the reminder. I can definitely incorporate that.
My thoughts would be either the most beneficial ones would either be detect ambush or mathematics, as you said, because it makes sense. If you're going to be drawing some sort of any sort of mapping, it would take.
Well, why not both?
Sure.
Mathematics to figure out angles of possible ballistics, ambush, detect ambush for places where people might hide.
Okay.
So under detect ambush, it says training for spotting locations which are suitable for ambushes and being ambushed.
Mm-hmm.
So, and detect concealment, I think, would apply a bit too, to just get an understanding of where the bodyguard might hang out or where Buddy might bring Mila.
I like that. Yep. So Al's already started us off. So let's go ahead with that. So what was that first one?
The first one was for mathematics.
Okay.
And the second one was for detect ambush.
Okay. Lavin, why don't you go ahead and roll your applicable skills? You probably, if you want to do prowl, and you have prowl, Al, might as well just get all your rolls out of the way.
Oh, good point. Give me a second. Okay.
Is that a success by 6?
Yes, success by 6.
Okay. All right. Lavin. We'll go with you next.
That's prowl. Oh boy.
Ooh. Okay. All right. That's fine. All right. What are your other ones? Detect ambush? Okay. That's very good. Go ahead.
First was ambush. Second was concealment.
Concealment. Okay. Excellent. And since I'm going to be narrating all this together, let's do Patrick's Piphs. So what skills would you like to use, Patrick?
Well, how about, since people are doing more of the on-floor stuff, why don't I use like a town map for this one and see what sort of ins and outs it might have, what roads, what paths, where it connects to.
So in order to get access to that, it's interesting, actually. The city of Northern Gun is very proud about their new Robodome that's being built. And there's all sorts of information in their info terminals. A computer use skill will allow you to navigate that efficiently and finding pictures and promotional materials. You won't get blueprints. You'll have to hack into a database in order to get something like that. But you can still glean quite a bit of information using those info terminals. So I would encourage a computer use skill.
Okay. If somebody could roll me a die 100, Squee, roll me a die 100.
Are you terrified that you're going to mess it up?
No, I'm not in there yet.
Oh.
54, sir.
Success by 44.
Okay. Are you not able to log on to Roll20?
No, I'm just getting in.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, you just didn't want to slow things down. I appreciate that. Okay, a success, by 40...
4.
Oh, yeah, you have 98%, eh? Nice. Excellent. Anything else? Assuming success on getting this information about the new Robo-Dome. Anything else?
Is there any chance I could use tracking to see if he'd met someone here before and done this operation kind of before?
Now, I will say that tracking in that application is feasible. However, this is a busy construction yard. I'll say you right now, the penalties are so immense of so many people coming and going that you would have to roll a natural one. Just because there's just so much traffic.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
There's just so much traffic. Yeah, like I said, you would just need an immense amount of luck, which would be the natural one. So no luck on that one. That's fine. That's you still succeeded on pretty much everything but prowl, and we'll get to that in a moment. Patrick.
Okay.
Anything else?
The best thing that I could do is basically look through the particular map of that area and kind of branch out and kind of just crunch the numbers of odds of where people would come from or go from this particular area.
Okay.
Of course, just general traffic would be useful. What sort of main roads, and then of course, since if somebody's trying to get away, the non-used areas would probably also be key to.
Sure. So accumulating this data and having the proper calculations to get what you want definitely sounds like advanced math to me. So why don't you go ahead and roll that and tell me how much you succeed by?
Succeed by 16.
Okay. All right. Anything else before I get into narration mode?
No.
Okay.
I got land navigation, but I think that might be redundant at this point.
Yeah, it is a bit redundant, but that's fine. All right. So we'll first go with the two individuals on site, and then I will explain what Patrick has found out, and then collaborating all the information and what you can finally deduce. So, Al, well, first let me kind of set the scene, so to speak. The Robo-Dome, in a sense, is immense. It is double the size of a modern football stadium. And it appears to be about 60% complete with construction. Large metal scaffolding courses throughout the entire ring of this area. And right now it appears that the parapet, the dome, is what's being constructed of first, which you can see being hauled in by trucks and lifted by many individuals who are either augmented, like labor borgs, or extremely strong DBs, or regular human being using, for lack of a better word, power armor that's been reconfigured for constructive purposes, lifting these huge, heavy, and very cumbersome sections of this very clear MDC plastic material up high into the sky to make up this dome. It rained about 3 nights ago, so the ground is still slightly soft, and the comings and goings of the trucks, the construction machines, the bulldozers, etc., and the dumpsters to clear out areas leave deep tracks into the sand. Construction continues on until 7 o'clock in the evening, and wanting to get as much information as possible, Al would take one side of this massive area and Lavin would take the other. Unfortunately, Lavin came across a few Teamsters who were on a break, and they kind of noticed him hanging around the area for an hour or two. They asked him a few questions in which Lavin was able to give short, curt answers, and although not raising suspicion, Lavin had to do more long-distance surveillance in order to exit the area. Whereas Al managed to actually sneak up and get close enough that he was able to spot off a few more specifics. The construction area itself has two main ramps in which these large vehicles come through. Both of them have small security gates in which what appears to be some local conscripted security company checking badges and making sure people on site are supposed to work, are proper contractors for this job. The entire construction site is ringed with a large, tall fence, approximately 10 feet tall, with barbed wire along the front. In addition, by the security checkpoints in both the northern and southern ramps, you also noticed cameras. What you also noticed, however, is that on the very southern perimeter, there is the chain link fence has become soft. Well, for lack of not soft, but there's a cut in it, a very subtle cut, but a cut clearly made by wire cutters. And a regular sized individual, once pulling the chain link fence, could actually sneak on through. It appears that the folks at the construction site know this because during the day, during construction, there is an individual kind of monitoring that area. But everything changes significantly at night. At 7 o'clock, it's quitting time, and all of the laborers go home. There is minimal security, but there is still some on the site itself. Give me just a moment now. As for possible meeting places for this Jester Keaton, and more importantly, concealment areas for one could hide up for an ambush, you notice a few things. Wait, let me just, sorry, I have all this information in my head. I'm just wondering an articulate way of bringing it out.
No, take your time. You're doing a good job. The more details we have, the better. So by all means.
No problem. First, let's talk about potential ambush sites. Lavin, you are able to notice a large pile of heavy beams that are stacked incredibly high, probably about 20 feet tall. This seems to be a supply dump. This breaks line of sight of pretty much every direction except for one. And if an individual was to hide within the beams and lie in their shadow or lie flush against them, it would be an excellent ambush spot. In addition, high up in the actual scaffolding of the under construction robo drone itself, there of course are several lifts. Lift 4 seems to be broken. It seems to be shut down, and it seems to be stuck about 5 stories high. This would be an ideal sniper perch for an individual if they were to nimbly get up on top of there. Finally, you noticed that this was from afar, but you noticed one of the possible construction dumpster trucks came on in very, very late and the driver left on foot. If someone you're thinking if someone was to infiltrate and hide in any sort of vehicle on site, it would probably be that dumpster truck. Everything else has come and gone. This one's been left on site, and the driver is left on foot. Al, on your side of things, as far as potential ambush spots, you notice two. The first is actually outside of the site itself. There's a very tall, old apartment building that is directly behind you when you're casing out the southern side of the Robodome. And you notice that probably the 6th floor of it is completely condemned. You've never seen any lights go on. You've never seen any traffic go up to that floor. So that would be a very good ambush spot. On the actual site itself, too, you notice an area of the Robodome construction that they're making a special entrance area and a promotional area, kind of like modern NFL teams and baseball teams, kind of where like concession stands, I guess you could say. Concession stands are people where they sell merch.
Mhm.
Well, that's half under construction. And because of the way all the architecture lays, it'd be a perfect spot for someone to kind of hide concealed on site, waiting to emerge. So that's for potential ambushing sites. Now I'm going to switch over to Patrick. Patrick, you come across a plethora of information, promotional materials, and some of the materials actually are of the site before it even broke ground. You see several big-eyed politicians, including an individual who is heralded as the king of Ishpeming, breaking ground at the site. And you can kind of see where the first few stages. Right now they are happily in stage 5 out of 8 construction stages, and for all the previous stages 1, 2, 3, and 4, they take these promotional shots of how things are progressing and etc. etc. You notice a interesting flaw in stage 3, which is the ground that it's built on was too soft. There was a clay deposit underneath the earth. And instead of them removing the clay and filling in with something else, they decided to go with a slightly cheaper route and simply laid down reinforcements around the clay. And for lack of a better word, they didn't construct anything super heavy on top of it. They kind of avoided the area. The problem is that this has created a natural alcove or blind spot in construction. So you know that if an individual was to go into this area, they wouldn't have any sort of impediment whatsoever. They would be able to get in and out using this area. What's a better way of saying this? Out of all if shit hit the fan and someone had to make a mad dash that had absolutely no interference by anything, they would go through this route. Oh my god, this makes no sense. Anyway, I'm gonna just continue on. As far as traffic and which way a person would probably be headed, you know where the meeting spot, the rendezvous point is. And that's on the street just outside of the Robodrone itself, along probably one of these chain link fences. You believe there is a 70% possibility that they'd be coming in from Bay Street, which is directly north of that site, and a 30% chance they'd be coming in from Hudson Avenue. which is to the west of that direction. So they're more likely going to come in from the north. Secondary possibility is in from the west.
Okay.
Make sense?
I have one particular important thing that Patrick would be looking for. That is definitely information that he would be tracking.
Yeah.
But a thing that our particular group and Patrick has noticed, we seem to be hitting a lot of things in the open. Locals seem to be noticing.
Yeah.
Doing our operation out of sight is also important. So even normal like people wandering around might be something Patrick would want to have some insight into avoiding.
Well, that's an easy answer. No public traffic is allowed around the area, with the exception of locals who actually live there. And since Northern Gun bought out most of the buildings around the area, in fact, the apartment building that Squee noticed was abandoned, the 6th floor is abandoned, is actually the only residential apartment that's still anywhere near there. So that's where most of the foot traffic comes from. It's pretty distant from the site. Everywhere else there's no foot traffic whatsoever.
Got it.
It's pretty remote, and it's completely remote once you get in the site itself too. As far as ranges go, I mean, you would have to be screaming at a very high decibel level for anyone inside the apartment building to hear if you were on the site itself. Once again, this is a massive construction area, a big operation, which itself takes up 4 blocks worth of space.
Okay.
Maybe even more. Okay. Any other follow-up questions? Because obviously I can't hit all the notes.
Two. The first is an easy one. From what you just said about the apartment complex building, it seems like the concession type stand type things would be the closest place to where the meeting's supposed to be.
Yes.
Okay. And do those look like they're big enough to hide, say, the large body of a full conversion Borg?
Yes.
All right. And the last question, you said there was cameras around.
Yep.
I'm safe to say they're probably Northern Gun cameras? Like they look official and they're not trying to...
You don't know what kind of cameras the corporation of the Northern Gun does. They are not the cameras that are found in the Northern Gun headquarters whatsoever. These appear to be commercial cameras that were purchased by an audiovisual shop.
Then my question would be, is it possible to, and it might not be, is it possible to take a look at the cameras and see what directions they're of these supposed routes that he might take they are not covering, thinking that this guy would want not to be filmed?
Yeah, it's because you succeeded on your prowl, you're able to get close enough to figure out the angles. Pretty much cameras cover. Here, I'll draw it a little bit.
Yay, art.
Yay, art.
So this is very, very, very rough, but it gives you some sort of position. This is the entire construction area. Okay. This is the south ramp. This is the north ramp. In green, I'm going to actually no. In light blue, I'm going to put in all the areas that you marked out that are monitoring the perimeter. You know that gap of the chain link fence I was talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Right there. That red.
Conveniently placed where cameras might not see it.
Yep.
No.
I see. And then can you place real quick where we suspect the meeting to be?
You mean by the concession stands?
Sure. Yeah.
Give me a moment. I'm gonna put in light gray and draw maybe an oval.
Yeah.
Alt for eclipse. Okay. So this is the actual construction site of the Robodome itself. The concession stand area, which I will put in a nice pink. Right
And while
here.
he's doing that, I can just point out to anyone who's watching this who thinks that they like to GM but they're not a great artist, this is perfect and very simple and does everything you need it
Yeah.
to.
Yep. The rest is descriptions in in the brain.
Mhm.
But yeah, this is where the concession stands where they are. You know what? Let's go one further. I guess I was just so focused on explaining all this stuff. Let me show you in this dark green, this little box, that dumpster truck I was talking about, Lavin. It's parked right over here. The blind spot where a lot of construction has been rerouted, so an individual could probably, exfiltrate very quickly. I'll put bright blue here. That's actually right here. It's like a kind of like a natural alley, for lack of a better word.
Right.
The beams are going to be in black. Are all right there. And let's the apartment building in question I was talking about. Now this is further back, so we're going to have to just use our imagination a little bit. But it's actually like this is where it's positioned. But this, like the gap between this and this, is like literally like 500 feet.
Not to scale. You also mentioned a sniper perch somewhere, and I
Yes. Oh yes. Thank
was that
you.
on a crane or something? What was that?
No, that was on a lift. Lift 4. Lift 4 is in orange, and this is where lift 4 is right now.
Now, would the angle from, and would I even be able to check this if I could get on top of it, but would the angle there allow me to see into that alley?
You cannot be certain, but once you confer with Patrick the information that you do have mathematics, do you not?
No.
No, you do not. So you wouldn't know unless you actually got up there. But from what you could tell, because of how high up it is, there is probably an 80% chance it could look into that alley. You're not completely certain, but man, if you personally, Lavin, had to set up a sniper ambush spot, that would be perfectly ideal. All these other lifts, even this apartment building, all the other constructions, mostly abandoned businesses around the perimeter of the Robodrone, the fences, the scaffolding, everything has something blocking line of sight, except that. And it's because it was shut down that there's very little impediment.
Okay, my thoughts, just real quick. For looking at this, whoever's gonna have the trank gun, Evan, obviously. Sniper perch makes perfect sense. If we have anyone else set up for shooting, maybe the residential building where it's too far to reach easily, but not far enough to take shots. You know what I mean? I'm really worried about these concession stands. If I was a bodyguard, this is where I would be. And my worry is for us to subdue him quickly. If we want to go with my plan, I'd have to be close enough to cast it, and close enough to quickly throw a tarp over it, which would mean maybe try and hide in these beams somewhere.
Oh, one last thing. While you're talking, I'm going to mark off Hudson and Bay Street for you as well. Give me a moment.
Well,
No, go ahead, keep discussing. I just want you to know, I want you guys to be able to plan properly.
Mhm.
I do have that sniper, that 30-06. I'm not entirely sure if I were to perch on this roof, would I be within 1,200 feet of the concession stand?
You'd be like 1,300 feet away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem. And one more thing to keep in mind too, I would think any full conversion Borg worth his salt will have thermal vision, which is going to make it a lot harder to hide around here.
Yeah.
Because, well, I'm not exactly sure, but I would think it was possible, like Inferno, if I would say hiding behind these beams, would thermal cut through that? I know it cuts through normal walls and
That
stuff.
is high mega damage stuff. Thermal
Okay.
would not cut through it.
Okay,
Which is
but
another
walls
thing
and
that
stuff it
really
would.
flagged. That's another the reason why it flagged in Lavin's brain.
Yeah.
Got
There's
it. Okay, that's
also,
good.
I would imagine that, like, you could hide in this dump truck as long as your back was not against this wall, which is facing where we think it will be, because your back would heat up the wall.
Yeah. Because my original thought was, hiding the same concession stands invisible, but then I thought, oh, wait, thermal vision would just
Cut straight through
wreck that idea. Yeah. Either of those might work, though you're right. It'd be more concealed in the dump truck than the steel pillars. Inferno, about how far? Rough estimate, would it be between the dump truck and the concession stands?
2,000 feet.
Oof. That's a lot of feet.
Mm-hmm.
And
This
the steel
place is
rods, steel beams.
huge.
Yeah, it's huge. The steel beams in the concession stands.
750 feet.
It's gonna have to be. I can't imagine casting a spell at someone 2,000 feet away.
Mhm.
They'd look
Now, I want to be clear. Because this is under construction, there are beams, there are pillars, there's all sorts of stuff you can still hide behind. This is just, like, perfect.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This would require, so perfect you don't even need to fucking roll for it. But all the other areas, there are plenty of other nooks, crannies around here that you would have to just, you'd have to be skilled in order to hide. But there are plenty of other places that you can hide in.
What's the terrain? It's grass.
It is pretty much very slightly soft mud and concrete when you get to the actual dome perimeter.
Mud. There you go, man. Hide yourself from thermal by just covering yourself in mud.
Yeah,
Saw it on TV.
I'm not sure the Predator
do
was.
the Predator thing. Yeah.
I'm not sure the Predator was very realistic, guys.
God damn it.
Hate to break your immersion. I honestly think, unless we have another plan, if we want to try and take the cyborg out of the equation, Al's going to have to find a closer hiding space. He needs to be within 60 feet.
Don't forget that I also have magical bullets that have magic net.
Ooh.
Okay, wait. Can we... Oh, shit. It's kind of like to ask this. Are we
Yeah.
not supposed to take out the cyborg? Like, if it comes to it and we take him out, is that mission failed? Or does it matter?
No, they don't seem the Borg, whose name was identified by Loss Prevention as a man named Brentley Hood, is seen. Jester's the main asset. He's protection. If you manage to capture him too, that's icing on the cake. If you end up killing him, so be it. If you manage to take Jester away without him knowing, that's probably even better. Because then the Northern Gun can track Bentley Hood's movements and see where he goes when he panics.
Yeah.
But if he's dead or captured, that isn't mission failure. That's just an optional secondary task, we'll just say.
So here's an interesting question. Let's say worst comes to worst and we want to take him out. Can we? He's probably MDC material.
He's
He
a
is
full conversion Borg.
Borg.
Yeah, so he's
he
probably
is.
at least a body armor or higher rank. I don't know. As a player, I'm not incredibly familiar.
Even
with
without body armor, Cyborg is MDC.
Well, what I meant was his MDC value would be at least that of a body armor. Yeah, probably
it will
higher.
be
So-
around power armor-ish.
So my thoughts are, we were strictly forbidden, with the exception of a vibro knife and
Vibroblade.
melting people's faces.
Yeah.
We were forbidden MDC material, and of course Al has his knife as well, which they don't know about. But trying to kill a full conversion Borg with 2 vibro knives, you're gonna have to get up very early in the morning to get that done.
It's not impossible, but it's something I would personally rather avoid.
Agreed.
Because you're going to be spending a lot more time trying to chew through him, and like I just have my pyrokinetics, but like Patrick has nothing, Mila has nothing.
And the pyrokinetics are so by nature flashy.
Yes.
And attention drawing. Like Lavin and I would have to be going for vital places and hoping we're hitting. Like basically the point is, we don't want to try and take this guy out. I think it's a much better option if things go south to immobilize him than to try and kill him.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely.
Magical net's not a bad option if the energy field, if I can't get close enough for it.
And I have 4 rounds. I can shoot him at 1,200 feet. I also
What are
have
your,
the fear ones, the spookifier ones, and then I have lead, silver, and shutdown. But
Would
the shutdowns
Spookifier work?
should not work. I don't
Yeah,
know.
would
I don't know. It's a magical effect that does fear, but I don't know. I don't know if it even does anything
Never
to
tried
full
it yet.
conversion Borgs. Yeah.
And I don't want to ask this out of character. I'd rather, or I mean, I don't want to ask specifics because that's too metagamey. But I would like to know, how confident is Tom that he could make that shot with a net?
In a pinch, he is fairly confident. As the linchpin of the entire thing, not so confident.
So best
But-
to have some sort of backup.
But I would not mind taking the first shot, and if I miss or if he resists or something, if the need arises. Like, if, for instance, Mila is discovered, he yells out and all of that, and the Borg starts running, then me taking a shot with major penalties, probably with the dodge and everything, I would be completely cool with, as long as somebody else can back up.
Okay. Personally, I think it might be a good idea to try and do a prowl check to get Al within 60 feet or close to within 60 feet. Because otherwise, because here's the problem. Tom thinks he's confident, and I'm willing to go with that. But if he misses, we are screwed in the sense that who's close enough to help?
Yeah, exactly.
Mila, I think, is going to be the personality doing this.
Who knows?
Well,
Who knows?
The,
We'll have
the
Yeah.
thing about Mila though is that if she, as long as assuming here, if she plays, the whole, I just showed up for this, I don't know anything. Oh, help me. They're not going to hurt her, probably.
We hope. Right. I'm thinking contingencies here. Or that's a good point though. Or do we want to just put our chips on the fact that they won't hurt her?
I like chips. You can trust me. I got it done.
Dude,
Don't
she could
worry
just
about
climb
me.
out of there.
I'm okay with that.
I'm really fast at running. I don't think you guys realize this.
No, I do realize this. I remember.
realize
My,
Dog
my
got a
only
rabbit.
concern is, are you fast enough to outrun a Borg?
Not
Yeah.
a rabbit, but a Borg. Hell, yes.
Yeah, she's gone toe to toe with Razor.
Probably,
before.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of
that
course,
was
she was
Razor.
in power armor though.
Right!
She chased Razor down. Oh, but she
Yeah,
was in power
she was
armor.
in power armor, though.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. You guys are worrying way too much. Don't worry about me.
I'm
how
really
about- how
worried just because this is an MDC creature in an SDC environment, and that is extremely
Versus-
dangerous.
An SDC Mila. Yeah.
Well, let me ask some questions to maybe help you guys out a little bit here.
Mhm.
All right. So you are going. You know where the site is. You would definitely arrive here before Jester and his buddy, the Borg Brentley, show
Absolutely.
up. Right.
Absolutely.
So obviously Mila's going to be waiting where she's supposed to meet, which is, by the way, right here.
Cool.
Now, where would everyone else like to be to set up? Like, you can infiltrate into the site, of course, in the middle of the night by, avoiding the cameras or whatnot and getting inside. You can set up outside the perimeter. maybe kind of figure out positions for yourselves, and then we can, you know, do some skill checks on you guys getting there. But like, if you can, yeah, I know you guys still want to figure out what you want to do with the Borg, right? But maybe this might help you with that, right? Like, if I go there, then I can watch this, and if you go there, you can do that. Like,
you know, here's an interesting idea. If the meeting place is there and Hudson Street's like right next to it, basically. Oh no, that arrow is Hudson Street. So this gray, what's this gray box?
That gray box is stupid and way too long. That's Hudson Street, like the end of it.
Okay. My thought would be, what if instead of trying to find a perfect hiding place, more of a hiding in plain sight, in the sense that, let's say Al picks a spot near some trash cans or something, puts his hood up, has some syringes with him to act like drugs, and he just sits there quietly trying to avoid attention whatsoever. But if they do see him, he's just a druggie. He's just a druggie that just got a fix, and he's sitting there. Yeah. And this could be advantageous, because let's say that they get spooked by it and they want to get rid of it. Most likely they would send the Borg friend just to go shoo me off, and he would come to me.
Yeah. That's a thing. That is a very, very, very big thing. I like that a lot.
Yeah, he would come straight to me without hurting or killing anyone, because they don't want to make a scene.
So you'll be off-site by Hudson Street, in the alley off Hudson Street, which there are plenty of. Dumpsters, which there are plenty of. And just kind of monitoring from there, right? So this isn't to scale, but along Hudson Street, we'll say.
Right. And I'm assuming I'd still be at least several hundred feet away, but still.
Yeah. The closest you can get, the closest alleyway is about 400 feet away from the fence perimeter.
And that's a better, I think that's
300 feet from the fence perimeter.
Okay. I think that's a better option, because if I'm found, I'm just some druggie.
Okay, so and Lavin is definitely going to be going for this. We'll get to you getting there in a moment. We're still kind of planning stages of things. Once again, you do have some NPCs at your disposal if you want. Bear is very good at subterfuge, for lack of a better word, hiding, prowling, concealing himself. Alicia's good muscle. You don't have to. Less people involved probably would lower your chances of getting caught, so don't feel like you have to, but just want to let you know what your resources are.
We dress Bear up as Mila's attractive friend.
Yeah, okay. Bern, where do you want to be?
So
Patrick,
is this the only lift? Is there possibly one?
No,
here?
there are other lifts. There are other lifts that are operational. In fact, why don't I draw them for you?
Yeah.
They will be a slightly different orange, so we don't confuse them.
It's all good.
There are like I said, big operation. There are a ton of lifts. There's even one by this weak spot alleyway.
What do you mean by lift exactly?
Like elevators. Open-aired elevators.
Like on a construction site. You have
here, I'm gonna just Google construction lift.
Yeah.
And I'll give you a frame of reference here. Ooh. Yeah, this. Here, you give me a second. This is perfect. Open link in new tab. I'll put it in Discord.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. I personally think that I should probably be in a lift. I'm also kind of thinking of going in this one.
Okay. That you won't know the site until you get on there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's where Tom wants to be. Patrick.
Let's see. All right. I am unsure entirely. Like I can do things. I'm just the opportunities and times I can use that would be slim. Like he's not. He doesn't have anything to actively help in this in good odds. So I'm having a hard time placing Patrick. If there's any sort of like outside help that he can do, that'd be something I can take suggestions on. If somebody just wants,
Do you have any transportation? Like if you can circle the area and spot the Borg, like in a car or something, I don't know.
Well, there's
I
something
could
that
try to-
there's something that I could suggest. You have hacking and computer operation, correct?
Yes.
What if you were to quote unquote fill August's role? And perhaps either hack in or disable some of the cameras.
Oh.
I
If you
would.
could-
I would love.
Hacking into them would be better than disabling them because then we could keep eyes on stuff.
That would be nice. I will say that would be something I would be interested in, though, as I said, not the best chances. I think I have somewhere around a 50% chance of that success.
It's
Should
just a
also be
suggestion,
kept in
man.
mind too that Patrick has abilities that could annoy or distract or help against the Borg, as in like the flashing lights, the basically your myriad of non-violent abilities would be perfect because violence isn't going to help here anyway, not against the Borg.
Here's my also suggestion too. Look at warfare. Not everyone brings up their units to the front line. They keep individuals in reserve.
Mhm.
If shit hits the fan and they start to escape, if Jester starts to escape and no one can catch him for whatever reason, it'd be good to have someone in the perimeter who could intercept them.
Yep.
So having Patrick in reserve, in like Spiral suggested, a vehicle, or just in a position where other people aren't, right? Like you guys have no one on this side of the entire construction area at all, right? Having
true.
someone there at the very least to provide some sort of support can fulfill. It would fill in a blind spot for you, strategically speaking.
Patrick, on that line, I have a crazy idea that might really, really work. Remember what Al did last time with the trash can and the invisibility and flying thing? Even without the invisibility, if Patrick were flying, you can go up to 1,000 feet. No one's going to see you 1,000 feet high. And if things hit the fan, well, that's true, maybe telescopic, but it'd be very unlikely. And if things hit the fan, you could be there quickly.
You do know that, I don't want to poop on your parade here, but the Ishvaming security has really, really good radar. You know this. They're not going to let anyone from just fly into the city from above, whether it be a dragon or a piece of power armor, you know? If he goes that high, he might be literally shot down.
Yeah.
Maybe if we call loss prevention, I don't know.
No.
Yeah, no,
well.
that's fine. I don't need to fly. Yes, being
You can rent a vehicle, but you have more than enough time to rent a vehicle if you want to have a vehicle.
Yep.
That's not a problem.
I
Unmarked
think
van.
Well, an
I
unmarked
could.
van with Piph or with Patrick, Alicia, and Blink in there could be really good.
Ooh, I like that even more.
Just as a,
yes,
oh shit,
but
they're going this way.
my concern: people aren't supposed to be around here. Why is there a vehicle?
If it's
Well, you
parked
can
and the
park it
lights
a block
are off,
away.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if they're on foot, the only person that might be able to outrun you is the Borg.
Would there be things that would be blocking the road from the construction site?
No. No.
Okay. So I can either be backup for the person running away, or I can be the getaway vehicle dash get people
I like that.
their vehicle.
I like that.
Well, what I'm looking at right now is that if somebody is on the, I guess that's north, but we'll say left side of those girders,
Yeah, just say that.
we have no idea.
Yeah.
That
is true.
Thinking about that, if things went bad and basically Patrick gets a signal and floors it, he'd probably get there faster than Al trying to run 400 feet, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Probably,
So,
More than
so
likely.
it might just be better for Al to hang with Patrick.
Yeah.
Because I mean, honestly, he's got the vehicle. He's gonna you just see Al running, and Patrick just zooms by.
Pass by him.
So I'd probably want to hang with Patrick, hang back in the rear with Patrick, and if things go bad, we're like the quick response team.
Okay. So would it be just you two in the van, or do you want?
because you two are set up for.
No.
No,
Alicia and Blink in there too.
Oh God, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
let's
I
get
think you
everyone
should.
in there.
Well,
Yeah, bring some bros.
if I need to get you guys out, would there be room to take people?
If you rent a van, yes.
Yeah.
If you rent a compact car, no.
Okay. So, I have pilot automobile. Now I know that there's
Right.
specific pilot van and things.
No. The transmission and everything on vans here, you can use your pilot automobile, no problem.
Got it.
Yay!
Oh, no
that makes
problem.
sense. If I can drive a car, I can drive a truck. Mostly.
Exactly.
That could be perfect too. So if Mila or Nora or whoever actually is able to drug the guy, then she can signal you two. You go get the van while Lavin and I deal with the Borg, distract him.
And here's an interesting question: the vans we can rent, do any of them have at least some form of mega damage durability?
No.
No,
I didn't
No.
think so.
No.
it's
no.
an SDC
Commercial
environment.
vehicles are, yeah.
So get the insurance, Patrick.
Yeah, would you like special protection? Oh God, I worked for No, don't get that. It's a ripoff. Anyway,
Well,
we
just
don't
so you-
cover what you happen.
Just so you know, there are two other streets that lead towards here: Spurn Street and Kilgrove, which I've put on either side of. I don't know even why the picture of the Rhapsody is here right now. By Rhapsody.
It's not flying over the Robodrome?
But
Robodome?
no. But these are the ones heading over to the Robodome.
Hmm.
So if you want to also set up further back on Spurn Street and Kilgrove and just park your van, that's entirely possible as well.
That sounds good.
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, where do we want to nab this guy?
Well, you don't know for sure what's exactly going to happen.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
best idea is if everything goes perfectly, Nora / Ellie / Mila lures him back to some quiet place where the bodyguard is not and subdues him, and then we quietly take him.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's best scenario.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then we have a myriad of safety nets after that.
Mhm.
So it's great. Yeah, you do have layers. So Patrick, do you want to? Okay, first of all, credits for renting a van for the day is 100 credits.
I can
It's-
deduct that.
It
Okay.
is a very nondescript late model van that will definitely blend in with this area. Do you want to set up by Spurn Street or by Kilgrove?
I do like our odds on Kilgrove.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's slightly closer with this alleyway in case we do end up wanting to go down that alleyway, along with Mila's starting on this side anyways. So I think that's the better idea.
Okay. Great. So I'm eager. I mean, I want you guys to feel, sure in yourselves. I don't want to rush you on anything. Is there anything else you want to discuss? Because I'm ready to dive into the scene when you guys are.
Is
Oh,
everybody
wait.
wearing STC armor right now?
Well, you should tell me for sure. And more
I'm
importantly,
asking everybody else because
Oh,
if they
sorry.
all are, then I guess I am too. But when Tom's like, "Well, we'll distract the Borg," I'm starting to think like, "Well, shit, if that's the plan."
Yeah, here's the problem I see with it, because I saw the idea of taking MDC body armor with us, but the amount of attention that's going to draw anywhere we go, people walking around in full body armor is going to draw every eye that sees us.
Yeah.
So I'd almost want to say, even though it's riskier, I mean, Mila's already risking her life.
I'm in a dress.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
gonna distract.
So I think that it might be best just to keep our regular clothes and just ensure that this does not get ugly.
Okay.
So, here's the big question of getting, because we cannot just assume that Lavin and Tom just get into the site unimpeded.
Yeah.
How do you guys get onto the site, and what would you like to do in order to do so?
I think
Now,
using...
this would be late at night. This would be, like, they're supposed to meet, I believe I said, like, 2:30 at night?
2 in the
So
morning.
this can be from 2 in the morning, 2 in the morning. So this could be at, like, 1 o'clock in the night. So like I said, security is very, very light, and it's mostly localized to these main gates with, like, seriously 2 patrols that patrol around here, like, once every half hour. There are immense gaps as far as personnel goes.
Okay.
Somebody else has already figured this out, and that's the whole deal with the slice and the chain link. Because they're probably smuggling crap in and out of there, or maybe this Jester guy is using it. In either case, that strikes me as the best way now.
Okay, great. Wonderful.
Sounds good to me.
Lavin does have Prowl, right? Tom, you also have Prowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, because this is going to be... And you guys aren't wearing body armor?
Not
just
MDC
the
body
STC
armor.
stuff.
Right, so there's going to be absolutely no... Yeah, go ahead.
I do have my STC body armor, though.
You mean the underclothing?
Yes, the underclothing.
Yeah, that's great. That's perfect. So, and what kind of clothes are you guys wearing?
Camo.
Okay.
That's all I own.
All right.
I'm going to go with the black overcoat and the ball cap.
Okay, perfect. So because of your choice of clothes, because it's the dead of night, because you're going in a known blind spot, I'd like both of you to roll your Prowl. I would like you to make it easier by 30.
Okay.
Okay, Lavin.
I got an 86 out of 90.
Okay, great. You both succeed, which means you are able, Tom, you're able to take the lift. It does give a small whirring clunking noise, but there's absolutely no one within earshot that you know of, and so you're able to go anywhere from the first level to way, 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 way up high to the 30th level. Let's assume that you check out each levels to see what gives you the best vantage point.
Yeah. Actually, could I make a skill roll?
What skill?
Perhaps I could use a modified bolt action rifle WP, because that does have a skill
to
percentage.
Do what?
To figure out a good sniping place. That gives me a lot of cover and gives
unfortunately,
me a good
weapon proficiency will not assist in that. If there is something mechanically wrong with your rifle, that'd be one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But so you have 3 options actually. Here is Inferno with his 3s again. But the first option is level 12, which gives you clear sight lines here.
Okay.
Second option is level 15, which gives you clear sight lines here. And the last one is way, way up high on level 24, which will give you clear sight lines here to here.
Okay. How far away is level 24? From
like
the ground?
high up?
Yeah, how high?
700 feet. No, wait, that's really high. Scale. Think Inferno.
So maybe like 10 feet a story?
Yeah, typically 10 feet, 10 feet a story approximately. So yeah, 250 feet.
Okay. I'll go with floor 24.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to we'll keep those red lines there to remind you of your sight lines. I'm going to delete the other two. They still exist in case you want to hit the level. All right, Lavin. Now, I mentioned before that this one was stuck on I believe it was the 4th story. What did I say?
I wrote it down.
What did you? Oh, good on you. What did it say?
5th.
5th.
5-story high.
5 stories high. Perfect. So that's about 50 feet up in the air. The lift is broke, so you can't just call it down and go up there. So how would you like to get up there?
I have no climbing skill, but if it's reasonable, like maybe there's a ladder or something that would be a makeshift ladder to climb up. Otherwise, I got a jetpack up there and try and do it when the patrols are further away.
Well, there are ladders strewn about the area. What is your physical strength? Oh, wait, you have your frickin' robotic arm. Never mind. Do you have a balance check? Balance
No.
from athletics?
Athletics is the closest I would have.
Okay. Athletics would pertain to this, I think. Go ahead and roll your athletics check, please.
It doesn't have a percent.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, that's right. It just gives you bonus to certain things. Roll me a D100, please. Oh, that's excellent. Good. So, in the back of your mind, you have your jetpack as option number, plan B. But luckily for you, there are several ladders strewn about, and you can see it's a slightly convoluted way, but you can bring up a series of ladders up around the area that you need to be, and finally bring a final 5th ladder up to kind of work as a makeshift bridge across the area. And you're able to handedly and subtly, because you had a very good prowl check before, position these ladders into place and get onto the lift without raising any sort of suspicion that you know of.
And I would want to remove at least the bridge part so it doesn't look like, hey, probably some guy just climbed up there.
Yeah. So once you're across on the lift itself, with your mechanical bionic arm, you easily lift up the aluminum ladder off from the bridge, and you can pull it into the lift with you if you like.
And then I just hope that nobody from occupational health and safety saw me, because that doesn't sound safe.
Yes, you're gonna get fined now.
Pile of ladders.
The long pause really sold that.
In bounty hunting, always think of safety first.
Dude, yeah. Gotta
Just
keep my
follow your
insurance
OSHA
up.
guidelines.
All right. Anyway, Al is now with Tom and Lavin in position. Is it fair to assume you guys are within radio contact of each other, with maybe the exception of Mila?
Always the
I think
exception
so.
of Mila.
Yeah, because I don't think Mila wants to have a handheld walkie-talkie on her while she's
Yeah.
pretending to be an escort.
Right.
Is he there yet?
So, hello, and so Al is down an alley down Hudson Street.
Oh,
mhm.
no, I'm with Patrick in the van.
Oh, you changed your mind completely.
Mhm.
Okay, all right. Patrick and Al are in a van down Kilgrove Street. They're about a block north. Oh no, wait, no, this is north. So a block east. It doesn't matter. A block east of the actual site itself, tucked in front of a what used to be a pool hall, but it's all closed up with a big sign that reads, closed, move to a new location. Come, rack 'em up there. The street is empty, silent this time of night. The only exception is a few stray cats and maybe a rat that skitters across the road. Ellie, what kind of dress are you wearing again?
She got something with sleeves, so it's probably like a tight fitting dress,
Nice.
but with long sleeves.
Okay. What color?
Oh, black. It's got to
Okay.
be black.
I'll get to you there, Patrick, in just a moment. So you will have the needle concealed on your person.
Mm-hmm.
Will it be like maybe in like a purse, or are you going to kind of conceal it up one of those sleeves, or
Yep,
where do you want to hide?
she's keeping it in the sleeve.
In her sleeve? Okay, all right, good. Yes, Patrick. Piph, you're muted.
Just for clarification, just for my mind, is his vision this way or this way?
That way. The second
way.
way. That
Okay.
way.
Got it.
You understood that, right, Bern?
No, but I'm not going to change it. It's okay.
Well, did you assume it was the other way?
Yeah, I kind of did. But it's okay.
Well, you know what?
No.
You
it's
know, no.
fine.
You know what? It's my mistake for not clarifying. I'm not going to put you in a position where you thought tactically it's bad. I'm going to retcon it, and this will be a lesson to me to be a little bit more clearer. So this is facing this way, the way that you expected. It's only fair.
Okay.
So.
Do you want to modify the angle a bit?
No.
To make it smaller? Or?
No. I don't think that's necessary.
All right.
Yeah. I like. Yeah. I think you should get what you expect. All right. Cool. So, well, not unless you expect to, get 1 billion credits for no reason.
Yay! Aww.
Damn it! I'm gonna just erase that off my character sheet.
Okay.
Wait.
So
what about the space station?
Oh my god.
I'm just
All
kidding.
right. Okay. Are you guys good for me to continue onward then?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. So with each of the party members now concealed in their positions, Ellie. I'm going to address you as Ellie until you tell me otherwise. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. Ellie, you walk down the long, lonely, silent streets to the meeting point a few minutes before 2:00 in the morning. Dressed in your... Did you say it was a blue dress? I completely tuned out.
It was black.
Black, sorry.
Slimming.
A tight, slimming black dress with well manicured fingernails.
Mm-hmm.
Painted,
of course, painted.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, like her soul. All right.
Damn it.
Brunette too. Don't forget, she dyed her.
Oh
hair.
yeah,
I won't.
dyed her hair. Yep.
Yeah, I do know that. Okay. Outside in the night air, you hear the sound of a vehicle approaching to your south, down Hudson Street. You can't get a good look at it, but you do see the shadow cast off by a dim, flickering street light. The shadow of a small vehicle parking by a curb. The vehicle shifts considerably as you see a being of considerable weight and girth and width come out, dressed in a simple trench coat and a fedora-like hat. You see a man who is now very clearly, as he steps with heavy feet towards you, very much a Borg. His chromium black metal chest sticks from underneath this trench coat. His eyes, cybernetic, both of them, have a very dull red glow to them. He's about 50 feet away from you, trudges a bit closer. With your keen eyesight, even in the night, you definitely see another figure in that. Well, no, wait, you don't. You just see a shadow of the car, so you don't see anything else. But this large Borg approaches you, and he says in a deep, synthetic voice, he extends to you, he says, "You the date for tonight?"
Yeah, a lot bigger than they said they'd be. That's okay, I guess.
It's not for me, but if you can follow instructions, I have 300 extra credits for you. He
Ooh.
extends in his left hand a small green cred chip. He says, this one's for you when you come back. He extends out his right hand, and there's a small red cred chip in it. This one is a man named McGinty. I'd like you to go over to that security station, he says, as he points over to a small security booth manned by a drowsing mustachioed man. It is right here, by the way.
Okay.
The Borg points over towards that booth and he says, you give that to him and say it's compliments from Mr. J. You come back here, I give you your extra bonus, and you can continue on with your date. What do you say?
That sounds easy enough. I do like money.
It is very easy, and I'm glad you like money. You will make lots of it tonight, I think.
That's what I'm hoping.
He says and he speaks in like a brief professional tone. He extends both cred chips over towards you, and he says, go ahead.
She'll like daintily like kind of pinch them from him like with her fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And then she'll like I'm trying to think, like all I can think is like an 80s like hooker kind of like walk over, like waddle up to the security post.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll knock on the window.
Okay. Just give me 2 seconds. Tom and Lavin, from your vantage points, you can see this exchange happening. Once again, I'm going to just be describing things with Mila. If you guys want it, when it's for lack of a better word, when you guys want to contribute, we can retcon a little bit, and you can say like, "Oh, I radioed to Al and Patrick to let them know what's going on, etc., etc." So you feel like. So I don't want you guys to be cut out of the scene, but I don't want to break up this flow either. Is that okay?
Yeah, I got you.
Groovy. So you knock on the little window, and the drowsy, mustachioed man who has this bright red nose that's kind of pockmarked as well, kind of gives a bit of a stir, and he looks over towards you, actually kind of gives a bit of a jump. Then he looks at you, and he kind of gives like this dreamy smile, and he slides open his plexiglass window. He goes, good evening, sweetheart. How can I help you?
Hey, here you go. This is compliments from Mr. J.
Mr. J?
Yes.
Wait, out of character. Did I say J to you, or did I say
You said
K?
Mr. J.
You said Mr. J.
Shit.
And I thought Harley Quinn. Mr. J.
Damn it. I was like, I don't want him to be a Joker knockoff, so it should have been K. Okay, can we retcon it and say I said K? Just because I really don't want people to think I'm ripping off fucking Batman.
It's totally fine. I was cracking up because I was like, well, I went for the Harley Quinn accent. This is just perfect.
I think that's what's subtly in my brain. Because his last name's Keaton, right? Jester Keaton. So J could have worked for Jester, but then obviously Mr. J, Joker, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, this is from Mr. K, and he'll say, oh, all right, he says, as he extends over and he takes the cred chip that you extend to him, I assume?
Yep.
He grabs it from you with his meaty hand. He says, and you can see him reach over towards a control panel with these about 5 little switches, and he flicks 3 of them off, and he says, okay, have fun, sweet thing. He kind of gives a bit of a smile, and you can see he puts the cred chip in his front pocket and pats it a little bit.
Okay. She'll waddle on back.
This guy's in a car, or
No, he's in the booth.
Yeah.
he's in the security booth. Oh, right. Okay, sorry, I got you.
That's okay. All right, sorry, what do you do, Ellie?
She just says K, and she'll walk on back.
All right. As you walk on back, the large Borg looks at you with his dull red eyes, gives a bit of a nod, and he trudges away. Back around the corner, you can see his shadow bulk once again enter into the shadow of the red car. And sure enough, a much, much smaller figure emerges. And from around the corner stouts what he is a man. He's probably about 5'3". He is very slight of frame, small-shouldered, very wiry looking. He's dressed up to the nines. He's wearing like a black suit with a gray tie, a dark gray dress shirt, well-polished shoes, black slacks. He has no hat on his head. Instead, his hair, it looks like it's bleached blonde, and like a harsh bleach as well. But it's cut very, very short. His hair is probably naturally curly, but was shaved so short that only small little blonde, kind of tufts come from it. He appears to be, for lack of a better word, mulatto. I don't know if that's PC or not, right? But he has he tan-colored skin. And when he steps closer towards you, he gives a smile, and his entire front and bottom teeth are encased in metal. For lack of a better word, a grill.
Oh boy.
That is probably the whitest way a person could say grill, which I just did, but that's fine. He has a grill over his teeth, a metallic smile as he smiles over to you. And he doesn't say anything to you at first, and he paces around you. He encircles you once. And he says, I take it that Jasmine was busy tonight?
Yep, you got me. So we gonna do this thing or what?
Yeah, just a second there, sugar hips.
What, you don't like what you see?
He goes, nah. He looks at his eyes glide down to your chest. He says, not the right size for me. Let me see your hands.
Here you go. Right here. We read them and weep, I guess. I don't know. Why are you looking at my hands? You got a weird hand thing, a weird hand fetish?
Hey, what I like is my business, right?
Fair enough.
Like money, I like hands.
So long as I get paid, it's freaking cold out here.
Well, don't worry, honey. I'll warm you up soon enough. Now let me see here. And he takes your hands with surprising care as he lifts up each finger, looks at the cuticles, the nails, everything, goes, okay. Well, your face is nice, your legs are nice, your ass is nice, your hands are real nice. Well, you got a little chirp to you, and you're a little bit more busty than I like them, but hell. 4 out of 6 ain't too bad. That's, well, decent odds. All right, honey. Let's come on through. Yo, Hood. Come on. Lady needs a good, proper escort. And sure enough, that bulk leaf form comes out of the car and heads towards you. As this Borg leads you and Jester, who walks alongside you, straight through down the northern ramp into the construction yard. Now, while you're traveling, I would like Lavin to roll me a D100, please.
How ominous.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. From your high vantage point, which you have pilfered, for lack of a better word, outside the back of that truck comes a figure. The lights are dim, but a street light from the north briefly illuminates his face as he jumps down from the back of that truck. It's the same man that you ran afoul of on the roof.
It's fucking Mr. Black.
It's Mr. Black.
Oh, your arch nemesis!
He's carrying, once again, a very familiar case. And He appears to be making up his way to this lift right here. Is there anything you'd like to do?
What's it look like he's wearing? Like just street clothes kind of thing? Or?
He appears to be wearing complete black from a skull cap to his sweater, turtleneck actually, to his pants, to his shoes.
Well, the first thing I'd do is just let on the radio everybody know that we've got an unknown. Merc from the previous job has showed up out of that truck. Not sure what his deal is yet. And then I think I would just keep an eye on him. Like I guess I would want to know like if he's gonna pull out his rifle, what he's training it on.
Okay, all right.
It's this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
How high is that one? I guess I'd also be concerned if I even saw him like looking in my direction, like basically waiting for one of these things to happen. Either he points his rifle or looks towards me and is on equal or higher level, so he can actually see me.
Okay, I'll let you know. So, silently, both Jester Keaton and the Borg Brentley Hood brings or leads Ellie down this large ramp, this mud-caked ramp, and they head towards this area right here. Actually, I'll just move Mila's token.
Yay!
They stop here for a moment, and before they begin to speak, now it is time to answer Lavin's question. You see this fellow get onto this lift and raise it to the 12th level high. And he begins to take out something from that case, which you can assume at this point is probably a rifle. You see his head ducked down, but you can't see exactly what he's doing. What would you like to do, Lavin?
Now, I'm going to assume that my jetpack is loud enough that if I did anything, it would be, painfully obvious throughout the whole, construction.
You may
area.
assume that.
Yeah. And if he's 8 floors above me, I mean, his cover is going to be way better than mine.
Well, you see his head and his shoulders and his neck emerge, and a sleek, suppressed black rifle emerging, peeking out from one side as well, but he's headed towards the south. And he seems to be scanning the area, left and right, and left and right. Now, luckily, Tom put the 25th floor on the lift, so he has not been spotted by Mr. Black. But he appears to be very coolly, very calculating through his scope of his rifle, sweeping this area.
Okay. I'd wait then, because it looks like he's just protecting Bro. For now, I'm going to wait until a move is made.
Okay. They stop at this area, and he says, well, what's your name? Sorry, this is Jester Keaton talking to Ellie.
Oh, you want to know my name now? You didn't ask me that when we first met. It's
Well,
Cynthia. It's Cynthia. Nice to meet you. What's your name, Mr. K? Should I just call you that from now on?
Yeah, you can call me that. Sorry for all the subterfuge, and this isn't really a cozy hotel room or bordello or whatever the hell you're used to there, Cynthia. But what can I say? I'm a spy. I have to take careful precautions.
Ooh, a spy. Oh.
Yeah.
That's mysterious. I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's why my friend here is protecting us.
I was going to ask if he was going to be involved because okay. No offense, big guy, but you're a little intimidating.
The Borg looks to you impassively, and he swivels his head to look at Jester. Jester says, nah, he's making sure no one interrupts us, right? Just like that cred ship made sure no one interrupts us. I want to take my time with you, you see. We got this nice little bungalow set aside. It'll be a little rough, but I'm sure you're not unfamiliar with some rough trade. Don't worry, I won't bite. And he kind of chomps his metal teeth over at you. Our good friend is gonna just stand watch. Now, I hope you're not too much of an exhibitionist, because them Borgs there, they got great hearing. So, don't be shy. He won't see anything, though. We'll make sure of that. I like my privacy. We're gonna wait here for a little bit. He's gonna take one last look around. Isn't that right, Brentley? And the Borg nods his head, and he begins to do a perimeter sweep. And he begins to plod along here, 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 here. Takes about 15 minutes. Is there anything you guys would like to do as this Borg is pacing around?
Yeah. So, do these lifts have like a call button from the ground floor?
Typically, but yours is broken.
No. I'm not thinking about mine. So here's what my character's thinking, but I don't have enough information to actually have any idea if this is, practical. What happens if I quietly climb down, go over to Mr. Blacklift, and call it down? Like, can he jump? Is there somewhere he can jump off to, or is he just basically like, well,
If
shit?
he wants to break his legs, he can jump off the side of the lift, but maybe he could make a mad dash and leap for a beam, but that's pretty risky.
He could probably also just hit stop from where he is too, though, right?
Not if you keep pressing down that button.
Okay, I'm
Such
totally
a
doing that.
move.
I love it.
I'm gonna try and climb down and sneak over there and just like call his elevator down.
Roll me prowl. Roll me prowl.
Do it. This would be awesome.
I'm a little lost, not following. Whose elevator are we calling down? Is he
Mr.
calling
Black's.
Mr. Black.
He's going to get off of his.
Oh, that's
go
awesome.
over. And you know what? You know what you could do?
I
Is you
failed
could-
so bad.
Damn it.
Well, never mind.
Okay. But what you could have done was
Oh,
you could have taken your
Forget
garage.
about-
Yeah, forget about it. Never mind.
Yeah, forget about the could-haves, because we've rolled prowl. So you begin to move over, to prowl over, and as you kind of get to this alleyway, you accidentally trip over, or you knock over a toolbox, and it goes with a bit of a crash. And the Borg stops mid-patrol, swivels his head in that direction. And he says aloud, "Mr. K, stay there. I need to check this out." And he begins to plod over towards you. In your direction. Not directly towards you, but in your direction. What would you like to do? He is right now 900 feet away. But he is closing.
He
He's
is
not rushing. He is not running. But he is purposefully and carefully moving in your direction.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Man, I don't know if he's seen me or anything.
Could I try and
something?
like make
Sure.
a big hoopla, like, "Oh, is it is this someone there? He told you to wait. Does that mean, are we in danger? This is so
Yes.
exciting." She's gonna be shouting.
Keaton, Jester Keaton's going to look towards you, and he says, "Shut your mouth for a moment. God, you're chirpy."
I like
Listen-
to talk.
"Yeah, I can tell, but I'm going to fill your mouth, either with my fist or maybe something sweeter if you shut that trap."
You're gonna have to pay me extra with your fist, mister.
I'm gonna push the down on the elevator and then run and try and hide in the truck and hope that the Borg goes for the sound of the elevator.
Okay.
Oh, you're Metal Gear Soliding it.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna put a box over my head.
I'd like you to roll me one more prowl check, please. Okay, only by 3. You glide on over and you don't hit anything else. As you jump over a construction rivet, your boot kind of clangs against the metal, but that's pretty close to where the actual lift is. You jam the button and then make a dive for the dumpster itself. The lift begins to go down 2 floors before it stops abruptly, and you can see Mr. Black's head poking over the end of it, looking confused. At this point, 500 feet away, the Borg glares up at the lift, and Mr. Black glares down at the Borg. And the only person who can hear this is Ellie with her astounding hearing. And actually, no, not Tom, unfortunately. But Ellie can hear the Borg say in a strong whisper, "Keep it down. Did you spot anyone?" Mr. Black shakes his head and whispers down from his perch above, "No, but something's messing with this lift." "I'll check it out," says the Borg as he plods over towards the lift itself. Lavin, I'd like you to roll me one more D100, please.
Okay, and I'd also like to say to the radio, like, guys, the Borg's after me. I'm kind of thinking that I should lure him over towards Al. We drop that field on him and make the move on Jester. Is that over?
Al would say, well, try and lose
my
him,
God.
but that's a secondary option.
Okay, I'll just try and book it that. Well, I mean, fuck, I can't get over that fence, I don't think. I guess I get cut through it. Not very subtle, but okay.
Right
and
now,
with that, I was going to say, with that, Al's going to slip out of the van and like hide behind it.
the van? Okay. Right now, the Borg is headed towards... He's now reached the control panel. His big metal figures course around it. He looks around and he says, "This is operational. Explain what happened." Mr. Black whispers down, "Don't know. Scanning the area. Start to go down on me." "I see. Stay here. Keep an eye on the client. His safety is more important than my own." And with that, he begins to plod over, back down to the south to Jester Keaton. Ellie, you see out of the shadows of this construction area, the Borg plod on through, and he says to Jester Keaton, "I'm sorry, Mr. K, but my suspicions have been raised. Something strange is going on. I need to investigate it before you have your fun." Jester seems extremely agitated as he says, "Fucking fine. Better safe than sorry, I guess. Although this one's growing on me now that she's shut her trap. Are you sure I can't get a little handsy?" And the Borg shakes his head and he says, "It's best you're prepared to exfiltrate the area as quickly as possible." "Fuck, all I want to do is get laid," says the thug.
And all I want to do is get paid. Isn't that funny? No one's laughing. I'm the only one laughing. All right, that's fine. That's okay.
Yeah. No, it rhymes, but never mind. I don't need to give you a humor lesson. The Jester Keaton looks distracted and frustrated at this point. Anything you want to do in the meantime, Lavin or Tom? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would at some point, I don't know, when the Borg sort of meanders away, even though I know he can
back north.
I mean, I know he can probably, well, she's just gonna just play the role, and she'll say in a hushed voice, "Why don't we just ditch this guy? You don't have to wait. I'm going British." The British part's not in character, but she's basically tried to convince him to just ditch the guy and go.
Oh, roll me charm.
I always fail this role.
Just not this time, please. Oh, God.
Nope.
Oh, you don't want to break tradition.
Anyways, Jester kind of shakes his head and he goes, No. You just sit tight. You be a good patient. You be good and patient, and I'll give you a little bonus.
Okay, I guess.
I
I'll
think.
take your. Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. Finish what you were doing.
No. I was gonna say I take your silence that you don't want to do anything, but maybe you're just thinking. Okay. Well,
I was thinking. I'm trying not to screw this up for everybody. I'm thinking that while the Borg is in the south end, or I guess that's whatever, the bottom.
Yeah, well, we're gonna just for the sake of simplicity for everyone, north and south now. So
Excellent.
Okay.
North and south.
I'm thinking that while he's down there talking to Jester and is far away, that maybe I have an opportunity to sneak back over to where I was in the first place.
Well,
because he probably expects since. Sorry, you were gonna say?
I have an idea. I don't know if you want to go with it, but I have an idea. It was the idea that I had before you rolled, or after you rolled. You have the wristwatch communicator, right? Or
No, handheld.
Okay, then never mind. That entire idea is done. Basically, the idea I had was you could use your garrote to just tie the button down, and then when he gets distracted and is almost there, I can just start shooting at him. But I don't know. Do you want to go back to your perch?
I honestly have no idea, but I mean,
You'll have to make some sort of call, my friend.
Yeah, we'll have to do something.
The thing is like if I book it to the north and cut through the fence, like the jig is up, and I don't know what happens to Keaton at that point.
Well, Mila has the syringe.
Yeah.
As long as I can pin down the guy, then we should be fine. Mila should get out. The only question is, how do I get out? I have no idea.
So do you want to do your sneak back up to your perch idea, or what?
No, I'm going to wait here and play bait. That's fine.
Okay.
I'll just make sure I have a good hiding spot, because I'm now working under the assumption that the Borg does not have thermal, or he has seen me already.
I mean,
he was several hundred feet away from you when you made your dash.
Okay.
You could go back to your perch if you want to.
I'm probably going to fail the stealth roll. My stealth's not very good, as we have seen.
Well, do you want me to shoot at him when he gets close to you? Because
no, I think we want to wait on the shooting until we...
Okay.
Once the shooting starts, it's going to be everybody's, so...
All right.
So, sure enough, the Borg, unfortunately, none of you can see him. Well, yeah, Tom, he sneaks out of your view at approximately this point. And you hear some shuffling around where this lift is.
I would bail way before he got that close, because earlier you were saying this place is pretty big. So
it is. This is like literally a 900-foot walk.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like when he's about here, if he's still heading north from about here,
he is.
I would be getting ready to GTFO.
Okay.
So
well,
like heading up to the fence in the north.
Are you
like
trying to be quiet
here-ish.
or no?
Yeah, I'll try and be quiet and go up here and I mean, Patrick. Okay, so Patrick had a bunch of info about this place. Is it just a normal fence? Is this an electric fence? Like, what's the deal with
No,
the fence?
no, it is a plain wire fence, 10 feet tall, with barbed wire on the top and cameras in those positions.
Okay, so then I would try to quietly move over there and cut another slice in the
Another
fence,
problem, my
much like the one
friend.
in the south. Oh god.
Well, new circumstances, right?
Oh my god.
Ah.
Okay, so what are you going to use to try to cut the fence?
Yeah, right there where my token is. Try and cut the fence the same way as the one in the
No,
south.
what are you
was
gonna use?
My vibroblade.
Oh, okay. That would definitely do it.
I would imagine.
Oh no, that would do it like no problem. So as it begins to plot up this direction, you nimbly exit the side of the truck, scoop around one side of it to block his line of sight, and head up towards the fence. Your vibroblade shakes out of your metal arm as you have a single smooth slice along the fence, cleaving a 7-foot gap. Now, the Ellie,
Hmm.
you and now Tom can hear this because it's no longer a hushed whisper. You hear the synthetic voice say, "Black, north, northeast. Now, tell me what you see." As he begins, the Borg begins to definitely pick up speed as he runs towards the sound of that fence being sliced. What are you doing, Lavin? The fence is open. You can hear heavy footsteps. He's pretty much at the truck now. What do you want to do?
I would probably try and run, run northwestish and try to find some cover in a place that looks like there would be a bunch of options for cover. So it's not just like, oh, obviously he's hiding behind the one dumpster that's right there. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Well, as I mentioned before, this street is just littered with closed down businesses and other buildings that are closed due to construction. There are dumpsters, there are alleyways, there's a few piles of scrap and garbage from the construction yard that has been picked through or moved. You can head towards there. The only problem is that it's about 200 feet dash that you're going to have to do where you are going to be completely exposed.
How far is he from us?
He's pretty far. You're a block away. So how far is a block? 100 feet? A couple hundred feet?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna dash
you're about
away to
400
the
feet from Lavin right now. Sorry, what are you gonna do?
dashing away to the northwest, and I'm gonna say, "Give me my money, you fucking junkie," and just keep running as if I'm doing something else completely.
Oh. Would you say it loud enough for Al to hear?
I would yell it.
Okay.
Fuck,
Then
jigs up, man.
Al's gonna start running towards you, and he's gonna pull out some of his syringes as he goes. Like he's gonna run towards you, and then be ready at any second to turn around, like he's running away from you.
So how do you're just trying to follow Lavin's voice?
Yeah. Like I mean, I would hear the direction it's coming from, right?
Okay. So what? Yes, of course, because he's screaming it. I'm assuming he's saying yelling. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Lavin, what is your speed value?
15.
Al, what is your speed value?
21.
Okay. Give me a moment. I need to look something up real quick. Real quick. Just need my custom combat guide. And don't worry, during all this, I'm going to switch back to you, like Tom, Mila, and Jester Keaton. But once again, let's just resolve this a little bit first, if that's okay by you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sure.
Okay. Ooh. Oh. Oh no. Okay.
And I'm gonna say just in advance, because especially because of that reaction, is that if this guy gets anywhere even close to me, like where it's like, oh, he's gaining on me and he's gonna, eat me for breakfast or whatever, I would kick on the jetpack and hightail it out of there.
He might gain on you, considering you've just been shot in the
Or
leg
just
for 17 SDC.
shoot me.
Oof.
All right.
Yeah, take 17 SDC. A bullet's gone right through your left calf, as you don't even hear no one hears the shot, as a bullet comes whizzing through the air like an angry bee and plunges into your flesh and your calf.
So does that hit the armor,
Oh wait, you are wearing the armor.
which is AR 19 with the hat and glasses?
Yes. So that actually does hit the armor. Good. It was a cold shot anyway. If it's a cold shot to an area that's enclosed by armor, but he doesn't know it, then it still hits the fucking armor. Sorry.
That's
Never
cool.
mind, it doesn't go through retroactive. It doesn't go through your calf. You feel an impact, a big impact, which causes you to stumble without question. As a bullet hits your armor, so take 17 points of damage on the body armor. Causing you to stumble a little bit, but you're able to regain your footing without too much hassle. Now I just have to calculate your speed value versus the thing that's chasing you, because I want to give you enough heads up time to react. Soon, is it fair to say that you would look behind your shoulder, get some situational awareness going on?
No, I don't think so. I think I would just
Okay.
run, because that's
You just run
that's like the kind of thing you turn around and then you trip over something because you're stupid.
Okay, all right. So Al, you're following his voice down the alleyway. Lavin, you're heading up this direction. Is this a fair assumption?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and since he's already yelling and things are it's easy
Well, you
to
don't
tell
know if
that-
he's being shot.
Right. No. I don't know if he's been shot, but I know he's yelling, which already means something's bad. Al's gonna yell back, "Come on, man! It was just one syringe."
Okay. You hear heavy metal footsteps behind you, Lavin. He's probably 80 to 120 feet behind you as you bound around the corner.
Yeah, I'm gonna fire on the jetpack and try and get the hell out of there. So I'll go up to like 50 feet or something and try and go up and west around some of these buildings or whatever they are.
Okay. I really do need token for my Borg, but I didn't make one. Bad Inferno. Oh well, I'll just have to point. Okay, so you start up your jet pack, and do you want to like go over the buildings, or do you just want like a jet boost to go through these streets faster? You want to go 50 feet in the air. I get
I'm thinking
that.
about 50 feet high, so I mean, if he can jump really high, he'll still get me, but otherwise I was just going to go around the buildings, not on top of them. Was my plan. I was like actually kind of thinking I'd do like a like that kind of path.
Okay. So through the buildings or above the buildings?
Like in between them.
In between the buildings. All right, but not so high that you're going to be above the buildings.
No.
Okay.
No, because I know Buddy's got his sniper on me. I want to use the buildings as cover.
Good call. What's the speed of your jetpack?
120 miles per hour.
Okay. Okie dokie. So you see Lavin streak through the mouth of the alley with his jetpack engaged, moving around the corner. 10 seconds later comes a hulking metal form that turns its head to the right and looks towards you.
Sorry, dude.
I think, is it safe to say like Al would stop when he sees him jetpacking?
Sure.
And he knows that he's not going to catch up to him then, which means something's chasing him. And
The Borg
Al's-
says, stay right there.
oh man, he didn't tell me he hired extra help.
Who hired what? The Borg begins to plod over towards you. I suggest you do not run, or I will have to break your legs to ensure it.
Look at me, man. I look like I'm in a condition to run.
I do not care what condition you are in. Speak now, quickly. Who hired what extra protection?
He holds out the empty syringe and he's like, my dealer, man. You're your boss. You know, man, I just try and steal one thing to get a fix. And he didn't know he hired a Borg. Come on, man. Look, I'm
The
good for
Borg
the
begins
money.
to reach his hands out towards your hand holding the needles. Would you like to do anything?
Oh, fuck, man.
Ooh, good question.
Molecular scanner. End of lie.
No. He's gonna let him grab it.
He grabs your hand, his big metallic hand over your own, and he folds your hand over top the needle. And he begins to squeeze and squeeze. The needle shatters in your hand as the Borg says, shut up. Who are you?
All right, I'm assuming very painful, right?
Yes, you'll also take 5 points of SDC damage.
All right.
He's not breaking your bones, but you feel like he could do so very easily.
Right. Al's
Who
going
is
to
the man in the jetpack? Who is your dealer?
Al's gonna kind of like laugh and go, I already injected it, man. The man in the jetpack, he's my dealer. Oh, we just call him Skim.
Why is Skim here?
What? I don't know, man. I don't choose the time. I just make a call.
Take
He
2
says a
more
place.
points of SDC. He's squeezing
All right.
harder.
Yeah, I imagine. And I'll go, and he'll fall to his knees. And he'll reach down to his pant leg, like not he's not trying to conceal it or anything, right? He just does it casually, or as casually as he can, and just have his hand hovering near his medical pack. And he'll be like, God, come on, man. I told you, I just wanted some drugs.
What is that? The Borg asks as he sees your hand moving over towards this pack on your side.
What? It's a first aid pack, man. I stick up. Sometimes I miss the vein. Sometimes it gets messy, you know? I work as a medical assistant.
Your life will end in 10 seconds. To change this, you need to start answering questions that I care about.
Is anyone in range to hear any of this shit, or is he just?
No, he's not. No, you've now coursed towards Spurn Street.
Okay, well, my plan is to. I mean, the Borg's onto us. My plan is to go right to, as covered as I can, go right to Mr. Black.
Like you're zooming towards him?
Well, I don't want to get shot, but
Well,
my end
I got
goal.
bad news for you. There's a lot of open ground between Mr. Black and, like, there's a lot of space. Now, you don't know if he's looking in your direction at this point, but
That's the best path I can. That's the best cover I can get on my way to get to hit that guy. And
okay.
yeah, I guess I don't know what's happening, so I can't say anything else.
All right. All right. We're gonna just pause a little bit with Squee's particular situation.
Uh-huh.
and we're gonna just go back to, because during this time, this happened probably in a moment of at least a couple minutes or so, right? So we're gonna go to Tom, Jester, Keaton, and Mila, and then we're gonna switch over to what Lavin's doing, and then we're gonna phase back into to Al and the Borg. Okay. So Jester Keaton is kind of pacing in front of Mila a little bit, and he's looking around, kind of wild-eyed a little bit. Oh my God, this isn't good.
You're
This
so
isn't good.
nervous. Why are you so nervous? You just come sit down next to me and relax a bit, okay? I'm here to make you feel nice. We can at least have a nice time while we wait.
Listen, whore. I don't know what you know about
Cynthia!
spies, but I don't give a shit, says Jester. I really don't.
Well, then maybe you don't get laid. What do you want? We're here on a business. You can at least call me by your name and I'll be nice to you.
You got a pretty face, so I'm not going to mark it up just yet. But you
I'd like to see you try, Toots. Like to see you try.
Fuck it, what's one more dead whore? And he's winding up to punch you.
Let's do this.
Tom.
Oh.
Tom's plus signing, yes?
Oh, as soon as I see him cock back, I would like to shoot his ass.
Don't ruin this for me, Tom!
Don't ruin it? Okay. Then I will...
Initiative. No, this is the fair way of doing it, is rolling initiative. I want both of you to roll initiative, and I'm going to roll initiative for Jester Keaton. The one who has the highest initiative acts first.
Come on. Let me see if I have a bonus. Let me double check.
I kind of feel like our situations are reversed, or in the sense that Al is like Keaton and the Borg is like Mila.
Yes.
Okay. So Ellie goes first, then Jester, then Tom. I'm sorry, my friend.
It's all good. Jester got
All right.
16. Okay.
Yeah. All right, Ellie.
Basically, okay, so he's pacing. Ellie was kind of like leaning or sitting down.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I want to fucking lunge at him and take him down to the ground and pin him.
Oh, nice pin. Oh my goodness. I think maybe this is the first time anyone... No, maybe you guys have rolled to pin before. But roll 1d20. I believe there's a bonus for... Let's see here. 12 roll, critical strike range, initiative, parry... Oh no, to pin. Oh my goodness, I need to look at my custom combat guide. God, it's been so long since someone's fucking done this attack. Give me entangle. That's what it is.
Oh, I have something that says body slam / body ram.
Oh, that would do it. That would just knock him straight on his ass, and then you can kind of scoot on top of him. Okay, yeah, that works. Do your body slam.
Okay, it says 1d6. Is that damage though?
That's damage plus. That's. Hold on. It says 1d6.
Yeah, here I can copy and paste.
No. I have your character sheet open.
Oh, okay.
My friend, body slam. Oh my God, you have entangle +9. Holy shit. Okay, so you have two options. You can do your body slam.
Okay.
Which is your body slam, body ram is with your power armor.
Oh, okay.
So that's why there's mega damage there.
Oh, I was wondering why it was a 1d6.
yeah. That's an attack that you can do in your power armor.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll just
is do your entangle. You do a 1d20 +9, and oh my God, it's pretty much you jumping on him and pinning his arms together, or pinning his entire body, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, perfect. That I would love to do that.
All right, roll 1d20. Oh, 20. Okay. He's going to try and dodge away. I don't think he's going to... No, he's not. So, he uses up his next action anyway by trying to dodge you as you suddenly lunge on him, your strength knocking him to the ground, as you, what do you want to do? Like pin his wrist to the ground, pin him
Yeah.
over top of his head?
Basically, yeah, like if she can get one hand, I mean, I don't know how did you say he was lanky?
Yeah, oh, really lanky.
Okay, so yeah, she wants to like
thin.
try and like grab with one hand basically and pin him down and then like get her sleeve ready.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. The Jester Keaton is going to try and struggle. We're going to do an opposed strength check.
Okay.
You're going to both add your grapple bonus, which is +9, plus your augmented strength, which is another +10. So add 19 to this.
Are you fucking serious? Holy shit.
You are an augmented super being.
I am the best.
Extremely skilled, and so yeah, you're gonna win even if you roll a 1. So
just roll the +19. There you go, 30.
So 30. So Jester is hopelessly pinned underneath of you. Tom, is there anything you want to do? It looks like.
Well, I was very, very worried about Ellie, but I think she has it handled. I would like to spend this turn to look around and try and find Mr. Black, if I see him in my vantage at all.
You don't see him in your vantage point at all, unfortunately. You'll have to change levels.
Okay, then I will start going down.
Okay. So the one that was gave vantage point in this area, I believe, was level 9. So it'll take you about 10 seconds for that lift to go from your level to level 9.
Cool. So the rest of this round sounds good.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter because Jester's gonna go into sleep pretty quick here.
Yeah.
He can't move. You manage to pin him with the one hand as you shirk out the syringe in your other hand. As Jester looks at the needle, he goes, shit! Help! Hood! Over here! Hood! Black! He starts screaming.
And is it my turn?
Yeah.
She's just gonna say nighty night, Mr. K, and she's gonna slam the needle into his exposed skin.
Oh, like in his neck, in his wrist, in his shoulder, in his
probably his neck. Like I feel like that's like the most immediate place she can see.
It is. The needle tears a hole. That old familiar pain. to quote 9 Inch Nails / Johnny Cash. You plunge the needle into his neck. You depress, the plunger. It goes inside of him. He begins to continue to shriek and kick around. Tom. Now we're going to move to both Tom and Lavin. Lavin, as the timing works in your favor, as you course towards where Mr. Black is, sure enough, you see him spin around from a clockwise direction, so his back is towards you as he begins to spin around towards where Ellie is struggling with Jester Keaton. And he is screaming up a storm, and it's surprisingly high-pitched.
Well, one thing, as soon as I heard Keaton call for Mr. Black, I would make the assumption that...
You would not have, even though he's shrieking, this
you don't hear it? Right,
is literally 1,500 feet away.
Yeah, there's no way that you can hear that.
Yeah. Tom can, though. Just to kind of resolve the Mila Keaton scene, he screams for about 4 seconds before it gets weaker, and he begins to nod off, and he falls asleep another 3 seconds later. So, Lavin, you said you were heading towards Mr. Black. So you're coursing through the air in your jetpack. Are you going the single direct route? Or are you going around or dodge through stuff?
Initially, I'd plan on if I hadn't heard anything change, try and take cover on the way there.
Okay. Well, yeah, hadn't heard anything change, so you're gonna try to weave through the buildings and then maybe get to the, of course, get beyond the security cameras, and then use the structures, the construction yard itself to kind of block your approach to them. Does that sound about right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'd like you to roll piloting because you will definitely need maneuverability. The higher you succeed by is the tighter you can make your turns.
Oops, that's a minus. So I think I succeeded.
Yeah, 51 out of 66. So is your skill
Yeah.
66? Okay.
Yeah.
So you got 51. So you succeed by 15. Great. You have an easier time weaving through these first few buildings before heading through this construction area. There's a few areas that you maybe could have gone through that would have been a little bit better. But all in all, you make your way through there carefully. And because you're weaving, you're taking a little bit more time. So Tom is able to get his eyes on Mr. Black first. Lavin, at the point where Tom can act next and his elevator is back in position to see Black, you are here. You're scant maybe 3 seconds away from contact from Black, okay? I'd like you to roll D20 to kind of throw yourself in the initiative order here now. And so is Mr. Black. Oh, Mr. Black is too slow today. Okay, so Tom, since you rolled a 10, you get to act first. You see a scoped rifle followed by a head and a neck and a right shoulder begin to swivel around towards the south, but then his eyes catch you. And he begins to swivel his rifle towards you, but you are on him just like that. What would you like to do?
Well, you see, here's the thing. My gun already had magic net in it.
Uh-huh.
Could I have, on the way down, changed it to a lead bullet? Or would that take too much time, be too much actions, that kind of thing?
No, just a second. I told you it'd take 15 seconds for the lift to go down, right? And you just had to push the button once.
Mm-hmm.
Considering reloading a weapon only takes one action, yes, you have time to do that.
Okay. Then I would like to make a called shot for the... Well, is he lighting me up with his scope? Is his scope towards me and his eye behind it?
It's moving towards you, yes.
Oh, it's moving towards me. I'd like to just make a called shot to the head.
Okie dokie. Penalty for hitting the head, I believe, is -6. Let me confirm. Yes, -6.
Okay.
Need higher than 12.
Okay. Then it's just going to be a straight roll. 11. That does not make it.
Yeah, you're gonna hit a little bit lower, just below the collarbone. Roll damage.
Okay. 21 SDC.
Okay. You hit him in the chest, and he is knocked back by the force of the shot, preventing him from shooting you. He hits the back of the lift, and you see a big bullet hole in his black sweater, but you don't see any blood.
Okay.
But he is winded for a moment.
Okay.
He's going to take a wild shot towards you because he's just gonna. He's pretty much, as he's being hit, he's gonna take a shot at you. So his gun's gonna go off. His suppressed weapon's gonna go off. So no bonus, and he's gonna miss completely. You don't hear anything, but once again, just a whizzing sound of a bullet as it tings over the top of your lift. I'm gonna let Lavin take an action. We're gonna see if things get resolved with Mr. Black quickly, and then we're gonna shift over to Alan Patrick. Okie dokie.
Mr. Pokey?
Sounds good to me.
Yes. Great. Lavin, you can see now at this vantage point, while you're coursing through the air, through this construction yard, through the beams and the girders of the half-built Robodome, you've just seen Mr. Black be knocked off to the back of the lift as he takes a wild shot in the southerly direction, but up high, not towards the ground. What would you like to do? You're going like full speed, or close to full speed. We'll say like 70% speed.
Okay, how practical is it for me to try and cut off his trigger arm.
With a flyby attack?
I want to land on the platform with him.
You want to land on a platform with him?
Yeah.
Well, that you can do no problem. It'll take the equivalent of 2 actions. We haven't really done a traditional initiative
setup.
Because
I've been keeping track of it.
Well, that's good. That's good. So since you're just entering combat, so to speak, now, Lab, it's going to take you 2 actions. 1 action to get onto the lift, land on the lift. Another action to take a slice at his arm. I'm going to allow you to do it in one go, and I'm going to give Mr. Black, a defensive action too, right? He's not going to defend or do anything with you coming at him because he's distracted. But once you land on that platform, which you do, you bring out that vibroblade and slice down at him. Roll a hit, and you're going for his arm, right?
Yeah.
So that is a called shot. Left. Just let me know if it's left arm or right arm.
The trigger arm, whichever one.
Oh, that's his right arm.
Okay.
That's his right arm, and arms are -2.
Oh, sorry, cat fell again.
That's okay. Arm is a -2 tier, -2 modifier tier. Oh my
So
God.
22.
Okay, so not only do you hit it, he's going to try to dodge to the side. Oh, Mr. Black, not fast enough, Mr. Black. The blade comes down, and much like that fence that you clove easily in one go, do you want to hit like at the shoulder, at the elbow, at the forearm? Where on this arm do you want to slice this man?
In a perfect world, we'll say like just below the elbow.
Okay, well, you rolled an extremely accurate hit, so what do you know? This world is perfect. You hit him just underneath the elbow. The vibroblade cuts through his muscle and bone like it was butter. You barely feel any resistance at all as Mr. Black's arm falls down with a clunk on that metal lift. And he looks down at his stump of an arm. The rifle soon follows afterwards, hitting the ground with a clunk as he looks there, stupefied, in shock for a few seconds.
Can I say something, Adam?
Of course.
Man, I was going to resolve this peacefully, but you had to shoot at me.
You were hired for all jobs. So many. And you can see his face gets pale as he slumps on the ground, and he's like cradling his arm, which is now oozing blood. You can see the bone poking through that cleft that you made in his arm as he's cradling it. And he's like reaching feebly for his gun, but he's like missing it. Blood begins to gush down his side, slicking the metal lift.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Something I've been meaning to ask and haven't for a long time. This robot medical kit and IRMSS, how big is that?
Not very big, about the size of a lighter. Maybe
So this
2
is something I
lighters.
would have on me.
Sure.
Okay. Well, first I checked to see if he had one.
Okay, so you rifle through his pockets. You do find one actually.
Okay,
Stuffed, in his left pocket.
And I'm assuming that this is the thing with the little nano robots that
Yes.
will fix them up, right?
Maybe.
Maybe prevent him from bleeding out.
And do you have a medical? Do you have any medical?
No.
Yeah, then yeah, it should work. They're robots. They're medical robots. No problem.
Yeah, they'll work. Okay, I
Yeah.
pressed the button. This makes it go, right?
Yeah. You inject the nanorobots into his arm. Tom, is there anything you want to do in the meantime? Mila is now towering over a very passed out Joker. If there's anything Mila would like to do too.
Jester.
Chester, oh my God, you've ruined it with your voice.
So sorry. Sorry, I broke the game.
Chester Keaton.
She's gonna pick him up, like kind of pick him up over her shoulder, and she's gonna look around, and I guess did she see what's going on over there?
Nope, not really. You heard Lavin speak and Mr. Black speak, but without being able to see it, you don't have much context for it.
She's gonna then like jog over to where she thought she heard Lavin.
Okay, with probably like fireman style, Chester Keaton over your shoulder.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Maybe
Tom,
dropping him every now and then just for good measure.
Nice.
Nice. That's nice. Tom, anything you'd like?
I'm gonna radio into the rest of the group saying that we got Jester while heading down to the bottom floor. It turns out that the Borg went north somewhere. I don't know where it went.
See, now I'm not too sure if they're gonna hear that radio if they're distracted or not, because now we're gonna go back in time by about 30 seconds or so.
Yeah.
Actually, we're gonna go back in time about a minute and a half or so, because Patrick has been silent this entire time, and I don't think he would just be sitting in his van twiddling his fingers when Al went racing after Lavin. So let's be fair. Patrick, what would your character be doing during that time when the first spurts of action showed up with Al, running down the alley with needles in his hand and Lavin screaming?
Lavin screaming.
Remember?
Yeah, okay. I was screaming about giving me back my drugs. Al seemed to have been playing along. There has been no contact otherwise of it. No, Patrick would actually just be sitting there.
Okie dokie. So, Al.
Yes.
You have 10 seconds left to live.
Does
Speak
this
and change my mind. Mm-hmm.
So
I start counting down to 10.
Oh, right. But I mean, we haven't heard, or he hasn't heard anything about, hey, help me or whatnot.
Not at this point, no.
All right. Al will just start blurting out. Like I said, his name is Sims. He's my dealer. He's been my dealer for like 3 years. We've been on some rough times, but he comes up with random places to me to get drugs. It's just me getting some drugs, man. And Al's gonna like cry.
As you begin to cry, he pushes you down to the ground, and his foot begins to rest over your head as you weep. Suddenly, his hand lets go as he swivels around. His foot rests off your head as the Borg turns away from you and says, "If I were you, I would quit that habit now. If I see you again in this area, I will kill you without a thought. Go." And with that, he begins to race down towards the south.
Do I have time to cast energy bubble around him?
Sure, he cannot go 0 to 100 in like 2 seconds. He needs to literally run. And as you're standing up, you can start casting your spell. Sure. It will be 7 seconds. It'll be tricky, but I think you might be able to do it. Yeah.
All right.
There's a good chance.
All right. I hate to be that guy, but I remember his hand was severely damaged.
That's okay. It wasn't like there's glass in it. It's hurt, but he can still do the gestures.
Okay.
Now, if his hand was completely crippled, like if he kept squeezing and he broke his fingers, then he wouldn't have the articulation. This is going to be painful for Al, but not impossible.
So you need both hands to cast in this?
Yeah, you need to make
absolutely.
gestures and stuff. I think there's a few very rare people who don't need to, but for the most part,
most of the time it's supernatural abilities, right? But for spellcasters,
a good example of it is Doctor Strange. Every single spell he uses requires both hands.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I'm just comparing from because I've been playing D&D 5 and it's one handed now. So that's interesting. That's all.
Okay. You can cast a spell?
Yeah, and kind of like he's tried in the past, he's going to say the words and cast the spell as much as he can. He's going to say it still in the weeping voice, because if I understand correctly, this isn't common or English. This
No.
is some sort of weird, and he is an elf, so it might be passed off as him just muttering or cursing in his own tongue. So he's going to keep the same tone of that when he casts it.
Okay. I never said anything about you had to have a particular tone when casting a spell. Just a
Right,
certain
but
volume. You don't have to be yelling. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
No, that's clever. You do that, and because of that weird blubbering in different language, the board begins to pick up speed, but then he slows down enough to kind of turn around and look at you, because sure, you're blubbering, right? But he needs to see that, and it buys just enough seconds that you still will stay within eye contact with him. He is at the mouth of the alley, and he's, I guess you could say, like, while he's turning down to head towards the south, he just keeps turning to look towards you.
Mhm.
And when he does so, the spell goes off. And I'm assuming it's the energy field that's surrounded him, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm. So it's
So what's the duration of that?
5 minutes at my level.
All right. The field goes around him.
Al will stand up, brush his pants off, look at him, and say, and you might want to consider a new profession. I think your target is getting away. And then he'll start running off.
Wow, you smartass.
You are dead, says the Borg, clearly, directly, matter-of-factly. And you can see him begin to try to punch the walls of the energy field, causing smalling, rippling waves, but not breaking it.
As Al runs, he says, blah, 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 and like runs as fast as he can.
To?
Back to the van.
Okay. So now we're going to be, okay, time is still very much a factor.
Yes.
So we're going to still switch between the two. Now, because Al and Patrick haven't had a whole lot of time yet this session, we're going to continue on with them. Al, you race towards the van. Patrick, you can see Al running towards you. His right hand looks wounded.
Oh, he's cradling it, yeah.
Is cradled at this point. What would you like to do? Or you two, both of you, what would you like to do? At this point, you hear Tom radio in.
Al's going to run as fast as he can, get into the van with Patrick and the other NPCs, and like put his back against the door and just immediately go into, because I got to assume his hand is bleeding pretty badly. That's 7 points of SDC.
Yes, there's glass in it. And in fact, both Alicia and Blink let out an expletive, and they moved to assist you with your hand, too, and getting you whatever you need.
Actually, yeah. So Al would be like, tweezers in my pack. And he'd look to Patrick and he'd be like, Patrick, whatever you need to do.
I haven't heard from anyone else. What happened?
The Borg. He's in the energy field. We've got like 5 minutes.
Patrick is booting up the van.
Okay, you start it up without right away. The engine turns over, and you begin. I'm assuming you're driving down south towards the edge of the construction yard.
Yeah.
Okay.
He knows general spells do not last that long, and Borg anything is bad news at this particular point.
Sure.
So he is there whether the rest of the team is ready or not.
Oh no, that's all right. You head down towards the south, and you park at the edge of the street, and you see in the fading light a section of the fence that has been clearly cleaved by some large metallic object. A good 7-foot line in the fence. You guys did hear Tom radio in, by the way, letting him know that, what did you say, Tom, that you have Jester?
Yeah, Jester is acquired. We took out the sniper, but we have no idea where the Borg is. He went to the north somewhere.
I think Al would nod to Alicia and say, "Let him know the Borg's in the field. 5 minutes."
Alicia radios over. She says, "We got the Borg contained, but not for long. 5 minutes, and that's fucking optimistic."
All right, let's get out of here.
Yeah, Mila.
Nora's carrying this body, and she's trying to follow Lavin's voice. She doesn't know what's going on. She's like, "I have this dude. I don't know where everyone is."
Nora, this way.
No, I'm gonna switch to Lavin and Nora too,
okay.
because Lavin is up on the lift.
I don't
He just
have a
injected
radio.
the yeah, that's true. IRMS robot into this guy's arm. Lavin, after you inject the robot into this arm, this guy looks over to you and he says, the only other 2 words that make any sense before he starts mumbling off into an incoherent shock speech is professional courtesy.
Yeah. Sort of. I take his gun and his suitcase.
Kind of.
It's a nice gun and it's a nice suitcase too. It
and
is.
I go off the platform, and I'm assuming I see Ellie or whoever wandering around down there.
Yes, you
Just
do.
carrying this body.
Are you jetpacking off the lift, or are you pushing the button so the lift goes down? Because this.
No, I'm jetpacking off the lift. Because I got a radio. I heard we got to get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Ellie, you see this? You see Lavin jetpack off the lift with gun and case in his hands. Tom, what are you doing at this point? You're still up on the lift, right?
Well, I said I was gonna radio while I was going down to the bottom floor.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, you've hit the ground now.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna say, let's go to where we got in from.
Okay, so you're gonna be running. Jetpack's gonna be jetpacking.
What's your name now?
My name.
Lavin's gonna be jetpacking, and Nora is just going to be using crazy speed.
Yep.
Okay, so I don't have to worry about Nora or Lavin, but what's your speed, Tom?
My speed is 15.
Okay, that's gonna make things interesting. Are you gonna still be dropping Jester Keaton, or have you stopped with the dropping thing?
I dropped him like two
times.
2 or 3 times. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, now I gotta carry him.
Lavin, I'll let you know what kind of rifle you got there in a moment, but I guess bigger things to worry about.
No, I know. I'm not worried about it right now. I mean, is there a strap on this rifle? Something swinging over your shoulder.
Yeah, there is.
Okay, if that's a thing, then I could put the suitcase in my normal hand, and if I saw Tom lagging behind, and I know we only have 5 minutes, I could scoop him up and jetpack us both out of there. Because I'm assuming I would watch for my buddies how they were leaving and be like, hey,
you'd have to drop the case in order to, because you're gonna need to you can shoulder the rifle on the strap, no problem, right? But the case has a regular handle on it, and you could one-arm Tom, but it's safer if you have 2 arms.
Okay, I give the case to Tom and I tell him to hold it.
Oh, okay, that works.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Here, hold this.
Okay.
And then I get us both out of there.
Sure.
Okay. So, okay, let me narrate the rest of this then. Patrick and Al, while you're parked at the end of Kilgrove Street there, first you see Lavin and Tom followed very, very closely behind with Mila and an unconscious form over her shoulder, head towards the fence. Lavin jetpacks over the fence, where I'm assuming Nora would actually just go through the hole that was made, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You both manage to get to the van. I'm assuming we'll say Blink throws open the side of the van to let you all in. It's compact. You see Al there in the back seat, with Alicia helping him get his tweezers and getting the glass out of his hand. He looks a little wounded. And soon after, moments after you all pile into the van itself, there is the sound of a few shouts coming from the south, from this security area. But you just hear shouts. You don't see any figures just yet. Patrick, since you're driving the van, what would you like to do?
I would like to take, if there's a road this way, that'd be pretty nice.
There isn't a road that way. Right
Okay.
there. You'll have to go north on Kilgrove for a couple blocks, and then there's a road to the east.
Okay.
Okay. So pretty much you're driving them the hell out of here, right?
Yes, that is my mode of implement.
So my question is this, and how you drive. Are
Okay.
you going to be trying to gun it all the way? Are you going to gun it a small the way and then kick back and try to blend in with normal traffic? Are you going to try to be as subtle as you can from the get-go? Like, what's your tactics when driving out of here?
There's a wounded person.
Mm-hmm.
There is another thing that we need to get away from, and I don't really know entirely how much time passed, but I'm sure it was a little bit, maybe even
Couple minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe like a minute and a half.
Patrick definitely thinks like not being heard and things like that is something that we would like to have, but I don't think we have the luxury for it at the moment.
Okay.
So he's going to gun it for the first portion.
Okay, love it. Roll your driving skill, please. A driving automobile. Pilot automobile.
You got it. Let's see. Pilot automobile.
Ooh, exciting. Oh, yeah. All right. You gun that rental vehicle like it was a rental as you hightail it with a screech of tires down Kilgrove Street, barely needing to tap the brake as you whiz around down to the Eastern Avenue. You continue on this way for a couple blocks in which you feel you've gained at least enough distance and broken all line of sight where you could probably ease off the throttle if you wanted to. But if you don't, you can continue speeding away to whatever destination you guys want to go to.
Get a speeding ticket.
Yeah, at the point of where he feels somewhat comfortable, he is going to definitely try to, if there is a speed limit, obey such things so he doesn't stick out, get pulled over.
Gotcha. All right. So you ease off the drive. You still go maybe a few miles per hour over the speed limit for the next, 5 minutes or so. But when you feel a little bit safer and you don't see anything barreling down your rearview mirror,
barreling or driving, I'm not really in the mood for anything catching up with us, police or Borg otherwise.
Yeah. So you ease it off and blend in with the late night traffic, which is spotty at this point. Luckily, you don't run afoul of any law enforcement. Now with Jester Keaton unconscious in the back, and at this point, since you have your first aid kit with you and someone assisting you, Al, you have your hand bandaged up quite handily. You don't heal any SDC damage immediately, obviously, but you've stopped the bleeding, you've cleaned it out in case of potential infection, and you've gotten rid of any exterior bodies, mostly glass, out of your hand.
Well, as soon as he gets rid of the glass, he'd want to cast heal on himself.
Oh, well, you say that. So go ahead and take out the PPE and roll your dice for how much SDC you heal up.
All right. So let's see here.
Oh, look at me. I'm Al. I am magic.
I'm an elf. I can cast magic.
But he did have to get the glass out of there first. Otherwise,
Also,
he
that
just
heals
has
it
to
up
cast
completely.
again. Mhm.
So, yeah, there's a small pale glow over your hand as magically the wounds stitch themselves closed, and all that's left is just your blood on your palm.
And he'd say, "All right, let's not try that again."
Yeah,
Leaf-
sorry, my fault, guys. I really dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah, what happened?
I tripped.
You what?
What do you mean? Weren't you in the post?
How did you trip?
Alicia's like looking daggers at 11.
We should handcuff Jester. You think?
Are you trying to dodge the subject?
Blink.
Nora, like her eyes squints.
Blinks over to Nora, and Blink looks over to Nora, and she says, "Don't worry, we can do two things at the same time. I can handcuff him while he keeps explaining himself."
You have 3 angry chicks in a tiny van. Better start talking.
And
when the
for
other
once,
sniper showed up, I went to go try and do something about it and got the board's attention by tripping and just it's very unprofessional. Sorry, I'll
Nora actually like makes a ha sound. She's like laughing at him tripping.
mostly sorry, Al. How'd you get him off you? I mean, what happened even with your hand?
Rock, paper, needles with the Borg.
I'm in a good mood. I don't know why I'm in a good mood. Maybe because I dropped this asshole like 4 times, but that's okay.
And Alicia will say, "Well, we got what we needed. We're gonna go to interrogate him."
good question.
Blink shrugs and she says, "You can just park down the alley. We can interrogate him here."
Why not?
Yeah.
I would
So-
drive around for another 10 to 15 minutes first just to make sure that the Borg isn't following us. And then we can interrogate him.
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous about staying in the same vehicle, but if we don't have a choice, we don't have a choice.
Well, I'm assuming it's a pretty nondescript van, right? Like,
It's entirely nondescript. It has no markings on it, really. It's just light gray.
So
Oh.
this is how it feels.
I know what we can do. I know what we can do.
Tricky
Guys.
slut.
Guys, I know what we can do.
Hmm.
Let's go and park in a parking structure at the very top. To, like, maybe the Mall of Michigan. That way it's nondescript, discreet, we can do whatever the hell we want, and we are sort of close to dropping him off at the...
Lavin like squints and looks at Tom's like, "You really like the Mall of Michigan."
It's a cool place, okay? They have really good
Here's
ice
the
cream.
thing. Here's the thing. Mall of Michigan isn't really nondescript.
Yeah, that sounds a little public. Like, what do we do? Kick him out after that?
It is literally maybe the most popular mall in North
Okay,
America.
then how about we go to, like, the
Of
parking
course, it's
lot?
also 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh no, it's
Yeah,
like
it's
2:15 in the morning.
How about-
Go ahead.
How about we go to the parking lot of the loss prevention office then?
Al says, and while looking at Mr. K, says, "Somewhere where his screams won't draw attention."
Yeah?
The
Where would that
Alicia
be?
gives a bit of a smirk and Blink ponders. Patrick, roll a D100.
Well, there is that place that we just left.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a
Or-
streetwise check. You were looking through all the maps because, you know an area. Give me a moment. It's not too far away either. It's probably only going to be a 3-minute drive away. You remember when you were looking through promotional materials for the new Robodome, right? There is a business that sells compressed gases. They had a leak, unfortunately, and some of the gases kind of leaked out into the building itself. Ever since then, it's been closed to be decontaminated, for lack of a better word. It's been completely cleaned out, but now that the building has such a negative association of it, and there's so many lawsuits going on with this compressed gas company, the building has been abandoned, and the actual company might completely shut down. So it's a solid modern building that's 3 stories tall, and because it needed to contain gases in the case of this leak, the walls are as thick as can be.
Perfect.
And it's abandoned. So that would be a good location. If you don't like it, I can...
No. I like it. I like it a lot.
If anyone else doesn't have an idea, can I handle the not the interrogation so much as the convincing to talk part?
Oh yeah,
I think
sure.
I
Nora's
have an
gonna want
idea.
to play bad cop, but yeah, okay.
There's a few in the group. I am not one of them, but I definitely know at least 3 of you do.
Levin walks up to Jester as soon as he wakes up and jabs a needle into his neck.
Hold on a second.
What?
Let me set the scene.
Can I also be the creepy guy in the corner filming all of this? Because we need to
Filming?
film this. They required us to film it, the
Yeah,
interrogation.
they do want.
And I do have a camera from space that can record up to 30 hours of footage.
Cool. Enjoy it.
Fantastic.
Okay. All right. Well, then let me set the scene. All right. So you park at the back of this building, which was called Meta Air, and jimmying open. Well, not so much jimmying as Alicia just kicking down the back door. You manage to get inside what appears to be their small dock warehouse area. The door closes behind as you, whomever wishes to, maybe Mila still, hauls the unconscious body of Jester Keaton into the building itself. There are several chairs that you can pull off for the office, pull from the front office there, and you can kind of arrange things however you like. Tom sets up the camera. You turn on the bright halogen lights, which lights up the area completely. But obviously just in the warehouse portion, not the front office. You don't want people to know you're here after all. Are we okay with me starting thing? Well, because of Al's medical knowledge, he knows that Jester will wake up naturally in about a couple minutes now. But you could always evoke him from waking up. There are some smelling salts you still had. They're kind of in your medical kit you can use to wake him up. Or you can just let him wake up naturally. What would you like to do?
Nora will
He's
suggest
handcuffed.
punching him.
Okay. He's also handcuffed, and do you want to put him in a chair? Do you want him to lying on the ground? Where do you want to set Jester down? There's some skids in the corner.
Are there any
Pallets.
not pallets or skids, but poles? I'm thinking like I-beams. Pillars.
Not that isn't connected to the. Oh, pillars? Yeah. Like
pillars.
like structural pillars.
Well,
yeah, definitely. There's a
If
couple.
this
of
is
them.
a warehouse, is there racking? Like horizontal beams? So we should
Yes,
put the
there's
handcuffs
empty
over a
racking.
horizontal beam so he's hanging from the
God.
handcuffs.
Oh yeah, fun!
wow, yeah.
Piñata.
Okay, you arrange that. He's kind of hanging there.
And before he wakes up, Al would say, "A man like this is probably trained to resist this kind of torture. We can make sure he tells the truth, but he has to want to speak it. Nora, I'm sure you could get out of him, but I'm not sure you could do it before you end up killing him."
I don't know what that means, but well. He seemed kind of like a wuss. She says, and she like admits, I don't know how much it will take to break him. I mean, he could be putting on a facade, but I don't think it will be very long before he snaps.
Just punch him in the nuts.
Then,
I mean, yeah, that's an idea, although I don't want to get near there.
well, you're welcome to try. What I have in mind is a lot less pleasant. So, go first.
Oh.
So does he wake up smelling salt or naturally?
I guess Nora will just patiently stand there, like arms folded, waiting for him to wake up.
I have a
All right.
question.
Okay.
Is there any running water in the building?
Yeah, plumbing still works.
Do we happen to find a bucket from like the janitor's closet or something?
Sure.
All right. We can just wake him up with water.
No, you can't, unfortunately.
Oh.
Just
okay.
splashing water over. Wouldn't that be crazy? No. He's too deep in his sleep for something like that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, and Al would know that, so you know.
Well, we have that in our back pocket just in case.
Yes. His eyes begin to stir a little bit, and as Lavin can see this, you gonna jam that needle in his neck now?
Yep.
Okay. Well, his eyes open a lot wider as he gives out another yell. Are you gonna like? What needle are you sticking in his neck? Like just an empty one, a blank one?
No, I have truth serum.
Oh, true.
Oh God!
Oh shit!
Yeah, I remembered that part, but we still got to make him want to say something.
Yeah, okay. So you inject the truth serum in him, and he gives a wince and a pain. He goes, "Oh, fuck," and his eyes open and they clear a little bit, and he looks around him. He goes, fuck. Birthed by a whore and undone by a whore. If I had any sense of philosophy, I'd say it was all poetical.
Yeah,
But
you can stop talking for right now. We got a few questions we need to ask you. First of all, she will kick him right in the nuts.
And he makes this horrible sinking noise in his chest before he bursts and coughs out, and he grunts and he yells and he squirms in his handcuffs. He goes, "Oh, you fuck! Oh, and then he says very bad words, which I'm not going to say, but they rhyme with hunt.
She will cross her arms and look over to Al. By the way, I'm the good cop, so good luck with him.
Cops, of course. If you were a black market, I'd be dead.
Al will look at Nora and then sigh a little bit and then walk up to him, and he'll draw a scalpel out of his pack, and he'll say, "I'm not a cop, actually. I'm a doctor."
Yeah, Doc, I got a problem. Some bitch just kicked me in the nuts. What do you got for that?
Al's going to like violently cover his mouth with his hand so that he can't talk until Al's ready for him to. In fact, you know what? He'd probably have like some, because he doesn't want to get his hand bitten. He'd have some rolled up cloth that he'd shove in there and then hold it, and then he'd say, "Do you know what the trigeminal nerve is? It's a little nerve behind the eye, right here." And I did some research on this.
Oh my god.
You're
Fuck,
researching
you
torturing people?
You sick fuck!
Well,
Seriously?
to be fair, I saw it on a show first and got curious how effective it would actually be, and holy crap. So the trigeminal nerve is a nerve in your face that handles the sensory for your entire face. So getting stabbed there is like getting stabbed everywhere in the face at the same time. And Al would cut into it.
Ooh.
Wait, you're cutting into it now?
Yeah. Yeah, trust me. I
Jesus
I
Christ.
have a plan.
I thought we were going to not go straight to torture.
No. Too late.
Oh, man.
Wait. Where is this nerve located again? Behind the eye?
Well, by the eye, like to the side of the eye.
Oh, okay. And so I'm assuming this is extremely painful?
Extremely painful.
Okay.
And he's going to cut into it a little bit.
Okay. Jester thrashes and shrieks as best he can with that rag stuffed in his mouth.
And then Al will take the knife away and he'll say, "Now, I know what you might be thinking. I can only torture you so much. A nerve eventually goes bad. And then after that, what else could I do to you? Unless I have magic." And then Al's going to cast healing on that spot.
This is some
Yeah.
fucked up Bioshock shit going on right now.
And
Jesus
then
Christ.
Lavin says he's got to leave. Lavin's not interested. I'm gonna leave the room.
Okay.
And then after he heals it, Al's going to say, "I can keep cutting and healing and cutting and healing until you tell my friends what they want to know."
Blink follows Lavin. She also does not want to stand for this, so she is leaving the room. Alicia's still around. Okay, he's still hanging there. You should roll how much you heal, because you might actually ironically help his balls.
Sure. It makes sense. 5 SDC.
A little bit. Okay. So is your hand still over his face with the rag in it?
No, with that, he takes it out. And then walks away. Like, walks a few feet away.
Bet that still tastes better than your panties, huh, harlot? Okay. Tough guy, tough talk. Tell you what, I got an anecdote for this situation. Are you ready? There once was a woman who was quite begat. She gave birth to 3 sons, Pat, Nat, and Tat. She said she had fun in the breeding, but found it was hell in the feeding when she found there was no tit for tat. You can torture and threaten all the information you want out of me, but since I'm not dead, means you are somewhat reasonable people. Let's make a deal. Now, I know the obvious deal is tell me what I want to know and we'll let you live. So, if you're done sticking fucking needles in me, let me tell you the only bit of information that is both going to save my life and save you a hell of a lot of fucking trouble. The people I work with are not stupid. There are contingencies. If plan A doesn't work and one of us goes missing, they go to plan B, they burn plan B, and then they go straight to secret plan C. Everything changes. Every hiding spot, every tactic, everything changes. They move it around. So, all the information I have to tell you, all the information I know is going to be garbage in a matter of a small amount of time.
You know,
Now, yes?
yeah,
Yes?
you know,
What's that?
well, you
I
know what
hear
you're
the
telling.
titty voice of a bitch interrupting, so go ahead.
Well, the way you're putting it, and she'll kind of like patiently like stare, arms folded. The way you're putting it means you're worthless to us now. So you're not really selling yourself here.
Well, then let me put on my special underpants and
Oh,
really
let me
sell
help
to
you, and she'll kick his nuts again.
Tit for tat, you bitch. It's simple. They don't know I'm dead or gone or captured yet. I can help you get them if we make a deal. if we don't make a deal and you either kill me, torture me to fucking death, or hand me over to some cops that aren't corrupt, then you lose. Or at least you start back at square one. I don't give a shit. I'm not dumb. All of us realized this might happen. This was my backup plan. Betraying them on my terms. So, we gonna have a deal, or are you gonna slice my neck open? Or are you gonna just keep kicking me in the balls like a fucking pinata?
You say that they're going to change everything, but
Yeah.
I bet they're not going to change who's in charge.
How are you even gonna find out who's in charge? Ah, you fucking scrub.
Tom?
Still not selling yourself, sweetheart.
Okay. Well, first I need some assurances from you.
I don't think. No, I don't think this is how it's gonna. How about this? I won't kick you in the balls again if you talk.
Oh, if I. Oh, okay. Well, I can talk.
Okay, here it
Mr.
comes. And
Okay,
she'll wind up-
wait. Fine. The way they find out that I'm okay is because we radio into each other. We strategize together on a very high-tech, high-secure frequency with a lot of signal bouncers set up around town. The second I don't check in, the second I don't appear at that meeting, they're going to know something is up. But if I work with you, maybe if you ask some higher ups who have better access to some shit rather than some thuggy cops like yourselves, maybe you'd be able to track the signals long enough while I stall them. You track the signals, you get to them. You get to them, then you don't waste your time.
You keep saying them.
Yeah.
Who's them?
I'm not gonna tell you. Fuck you.
Can I would like. Sorry, I hate to interrupt, but this might be important. While he's saying all this, I want to start reading his surface thoughts. If I may.
Hey, all right, Jester Keaton.
Can I say that I set up the camera to be propped on a chair or something and then head out?
Okay.
Okay.
Jester Keaton failed his psionic saving throw. Okie dokie. So the second, most of his mind is a bunch of expletives, especially with the groin kicking part. You also get phrases that would make a sailor blush as to what he would want to do with you. I'm not going to go into any details, but they are both violent, sexual, and vile. Doesn't matter. What does matter is that when he says, you keep saying, when Al said, you keep saying them. Who them do you think of? And in Jester's mind, he thinks, even if they know, Squinting Rel and the Gray Ghost, it doesn't matter because they'll run underground unless they play ball. And then you also hear him think, give me a moment, that fuck up Brentley Hood. Why did I have some UUF mercenary protect me when my own men would have been just fine and loyal if she didn't shoot them?
So, Nora will interrupt the conversation flow, I guess, unless... Were you guys having a conversation? I can't remember what you guys were talking about. I might just interrupt.
Oh, he wants names of who I'm working with.
Oh, right. Okay, so tell me about the big guy you were with. Is he a buddy of yours?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, real buddy. Can't you tell? He really came to my rescue. Yeah, no, he's protection.
Mm-hmm. You don't have... So he's new? Do you have normal protection, or is he your go-to guy?
Let's talk about my deal. I work with you in tracking down the others. And, well, I'm hoping you're going to be spending all your time tracking them, whereas you won't be tracking me. So I get to retire safely, pick up sticks, leave this shitty city.
I'll consider your deal, but you gotta
good.
answer the rest of our questions.
Okay, well, you know what? Fucking fine. It's easy. It doesn't matter. I'll tell you everything you want to know, and if you don't play along with me, then all my information is going to be worthless. So fine. Waste what little time you have.
Al?
And his thought pops up. Yeah, that's right. Tell them they imply that they don't have 6 hours until the meeting. Let them think. Let these assholes think it could be at any point.
She'll, okay, at that then, she'll say, oh, so we have 6 hours, kind of under her breath.
Al will look at her. 6 hours?
Mm-hmm. Are you holding your... What do you have? What did you... It was a scalpel?
Yeah. Yeah, he's still holding it.
Nora's gonna lunge for it.
Al's going to try and keep it away because he doesn't want this guy dead or seriously hurt. He doesn't know what she's going to do with it.
She wants to kill him. You know that look all too well.
Yeah, Al's going to try and keep it away from her. And he's going to be like, Nora.
Okay, you know what? I'm sorry. If Milo really wants that scalpel and Al really wants to keep it away, you guys are going to have to roll against each other.
Okay. Here's a question.
You could use your words too.
Yeah, Al's going to be like, Nora, stop.
She'll kind of hesitate in like mid lunge and be like, Al, this guy is fucked up. We need to purge him.
Al will get very close to Nora and say, we are not them, and we never will be.
You're telling me you're the one who just threatened to torture him.
And then healed him.
Yeah, to torture him again, Al. Don't sugarcoat it.
He looks Nora very like straight in the eyes, as serious as he has ever been, and as quietly as he can, he says, if you think I'd really do that, you don't know me at all.
You guys should have just joined us. Obviously, if you guys are as fucking ruthless as you clearly are, we could definitely use new talent. Of course, you kind of failed the initiation with the whole fucking torturing and capturing me and kicking me in the fucking balls. yells Jester Keaton, clearly enraged. I'm going to pause here for a quick moment because I would like to move over to... Oh, actually, wait a second. Patrick, what are you doing in this during all this?
I like to think he's listening to some very mellow elevator music in the van.
All right. So when Lavin, Blink, and Tom leave the area, do you head back towards the van, or do you just head to a different section of the warehouse?
I kind of feel like I'd want to maintain like eyesight, like not go too far away, but like I don't want to watch a guy get tortured.
Well, what you can do is that there's an office up by the warehouse. It probably was maybe the warehouse manager's office or some sort of supervisor, because it has a glass window looking out onto the warehouse floor. You could probably go into there and still keep eyes on everything, but you don't really have to hear it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Perfect. Blink and Tom would follow. And once they get into the office, Blink is going to kind of give a disgusted look, and she says, torture is completely fucking useless. They tell you whatever they want to make the pain stop. I would have thought that they fucking know that by now, but whatever.
Yeah, there's no honor in that. I guess Al never took a Hippocratic oath, huh?
I don't even know what that is, Blink says, as she blinks a little bit. She looks over to Tom.
Okay, out of character, is that like not a thing anymore?
Interestingly enough, it is a thing, but only in certain cities. Those who care about not ancient, but like the golden age of man and how they conducted medicine and allow people to like learn from that, like say places like New Laszlo, New Laszlo, and Tolkien, then sure, there's a Hippocratic Oath. In areas that either weren't exposed to it anymore or the governments don't care about that, like say the coalition states, maybe Ishpeming, don't know about for sure about that, or even space, Hippocratic what? No.
Okay.
Doctors heal, and maybe they can profit from it. Whatever.
Time to ad-lib some backstory. There was a guy in the town I grew up with. I guess you could call him doctor, but he's more like a medicine man. But he talked about the Hippocratic Oath and healers not wanting to harm people, taking an oath to do no harm in the hopes of healing other people.
Oh, yeah, he does that. He hurts people, so I don't think he did that.
Hmm.
I mean, he most of the time will, well, let me put it to you this way. He is very, very concerned with people and their health and all of that, but if there's somebody who is horrible and openly killing people, or in charge of a group that's openly killing people, torture and all of that stuff, then he is a lot less concerned with them.
Blink shrugs and she says, morality aside, it's all about effectiveness.
Yeah.
Out of character, we all know he shoved a truth serum in him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure.
They're having an in-character discussion about what's going on. Don't worry about it. Yeah, anything else you guys want to add, or I could switch back to Jester and the gang?
I think I would just say, it just turns you into one of them. Don't torture the guy. If he doesn't answer the questions, just kill him and be done with it.
Well,
whatever.
He did heal him afterwards.
That's almost worse.
Yeah.
Blink nods at that.
I don't know. I just...
Blink shrugs and she says, I've been with you guys for quite a bit. And which is why I'm not putting a stop to it or anything like that. Whatever your system does, it works. And once things get far beyond what I think your principles are, then maybe I'll take my leave. But she gives a bit of a sigh. This is just not ideal at all.
Yeah, not my operation. I mean, whatever, but it's not what I would have done.
Yeah.
Blink shrugs and she says, well, maybe next time. She pauses for a moment and she thinks and she says, in a way we're no better than. Because if we think it's wrong or the wrong way to go, we should have said something. Next time I think we should say something.
Honestly,
yeah,
next
only
time
if
we should probably just leave this to the professionals.
It's only worth saying something if you think saying something is going to have an effect. I'm not sure I carry that kind of clout. We'll see how things progress.
Okay.
I will note that for a moment, Tom will look really sad when Blink said she would leave. But then he'll try and mask it after that.
Sure.
And that's it.
Okay. She notices and she gives a thin smile. But that's about it. Okay, so back. Jester is reeling again from the latest blow to his nuts. He says, yeah, go ahead.
Mila had just told Al that he'd healed him to torture him again. I think Al would try and draw her away, make sure they're far enough away that he can talk quietly.
Yeah, okay.
And,
well, you don't know how good Jester Keaton can hear.
Right,
but
right.
For an average human being, yeah, you move away. Yeah.
With an angry and hurt look, Al would say, "If you really think I would do that, you do not know me at all."
Okay, listen. Don't. I'm pissed. I can hear his thoughts, and it's driving me a little insane. I'm sorry if I offended you, Al. She looks like she wants to punch you, but she's not. So I think that's a plus.
The next thought in Jester Keaton's mind is, there's disharmony with them. Maybe I can use it against them.
He's trying to mess with our brains, but there's a meeting in 6 hours. That meeting that he's talking about, that he needs to show up or be near, mention, or I don't know. If we can figure out what the meeting is, maybe that's a lead.
Al nods and he considers for a moment and he says, "His thoughts are that bad?"
Listen, I know my morals. I know that this is fucked up, but this guy is crazy. I know I'm crazy, but making me crazier.
He looks to Nora and he says, "I can't pretend to completely understand you. But killing him is not the answer."
Okay, I get that. We don't need to have a moment, Al. We just need to get him to fucking tell us where the meeting is.
Got it. And Al will nod and then turn back around.
Mm-hmm.
And his face completely deadpan again.
Okay.
And he'll say very, very abruptly, go right up to him, "Where's the meeting?"
In the air. All around us in little wavelengths. We wouldn't be so stupid as to meet in one place. We talk to each other through encoded radios, like I mentioned.
"What's the code?"
Not going to tell you until you play ball.
"Really? Should I shove the rag back in your mouth? Did I need to remind you how often I can do this?"
Yeah, I know, and it's gonna hurt like hell. But listen, if I'm gonna betray the Hell Riders, which I want to do, I'm as good as dead. So torture is actually better than death.
"No, you're not. Because see, I enjoy this, and I'm not going to kill you, and I'm not going to let you go. We can be in here for months, and I will never get tired of it."
Oh, okay. Great. Sadistic, huh?
Can I roll like an intimidate check or anything?
Yeah, with like a huge fucking modifier, like make it easier by 40.
All right. So I'll just roll it and so that would be, I got a 12. Like I'm negative 12. So because I have 75. Or whatever. I rolled a 12 out of 75. So
okay.
Like, whatever
All
that
right.
is. Something.
Okay. He says, "Listen, tough guy, I fucking believe you. I believe every goddamn word you say. You demonstrated it. I'm sure you clearly got fucking time on your hands. First of all, you need to find yourself a good woman. Second of all, listen, I give you the code. I'll give you the radio. It means shit unless my voice is on the other end. So, fuck you."
Al says, "You're going to tell me all about your job, your position, what you were going to do, what you like, what you don't like, and then you're going to let me worry about your voice."
Tick tock, tick tock. You only got a few minutes left. I suggest you make your decision now. I could spend the next few months while you're torturing me, telling you everything about our fucking operation. Doesn't matter.
Al looks back to Nora. 6 hours?
Nah, she's full of shit, says Jester. Well, in his head, it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
She'll smile and say, "I can read you like an open book. You don't notice, but with your fingers, we're counting." Not minutes, hours, dumbass.
Fuck.
Uh-huh.
And you see in his mind is like it's feverishly trying to come up with other alleyways in which to trick you or to convince you or otherwise, and they're all coming up blanks. Most of them end with, and they'll just torture it out of me, or it'll end with, and they won't believe me. So he says, because both truth serum and psychic powers really limit a man's as he says, there's 3 of us, me, the old boss of the Chrome Riders named Squinting Rel. He's in charge of the smuggling operation, a little bit of recruitment, accessing weapons, so forth. The other guy, I've only met him face to face once, and I bet you it wasn't even his face. He was probably using, what do you call him? Fucking mediator. Someone in between. He's known as Joseph Gray, also known as the Gray Ghost. Merc Unit, ex-spook. Either way, he's our tactician. I'm in charge of keeping the streets silent through my special abilities of intimidation and hiding bodies and making people disappear. Also, I have a lot of money from the drugs I still used to deal. We're, in turn, run by a boss. I don't know her name, so I can't fucking tell you. But she's the one who's arranged everything. Absolutely everything. She's the one who hired us. She's the one who gets us the money. She's the one who gets us the guns. She gets everything. All I've heard are a few rumors, and one is she has a big old, not literal, hard-on for criminals. She fucking hates them. And she hates the black market almost most of all, which is why we're taking them out. For you, by the way. You're goddamn welcome. So, what else would you like to know? Huh? My favorite color is fuchsia. I like doing it, and then he's gonna maybe get cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Al's gonna say your role in this meeting. What would they ask you? What would you answer?
They wouldn't ask. They'd ask me how things are going. They want to know how many squadrons are still operational. They want to know if we have any problems on the streets, etc., etc.
How many squadrons are still available?
Fuck you. You listen. I think I know what you're going to do, all right? You're not going to be able to mimic my particular voice. I don't care what fucking synthesizers you might have, okay? It needs to be me for this fucking deal, don't you see? And he sounds angry, but he looks terrified now because his mind, and Nora, you can hear in his mind, he's piecing together. He knows why you're asking these questions now, and he knows he has a very strong inkling that you want to replace him on the radio. He says, if that's the way you're going to play it, then fuck you, just fucking torture me then. Fuck you, you're going to have to work for the goddamn information, you pieces of shit. Fuck you. It's me, it's my goddamn life. I'm betraying them, I should get the rewards.
Al smiles very, very creepily and says, or you could not talk, and I get the rewards.
Go ahead. Fucking do it. Fucking do it.
We haven't gotten the radio address. What is that called? Frequency?
Yeah. You know what? You're right, bitch. It is 6 hours. And you know what? You can torture me, and I'm going to wait 6 hours. I'm going to wait 6 hours and 1 minute before I start fucking screaming. And then by then, it'll be too late.
Can
by
you
then,
shut
they'll know.
this guy up? My gosh, I need a second to think.
Al will shove the rag back in his mouth. And he'll, oh god, this has got to make him sick inside. He'll put his hand over his mouth, and then he'll like gently stroke his temple with the scalpel, not cutting or anything, just pressing it and stroking.
His Jester's terrified wild eyes peer into you defiantly, but you can hear his heart racing through the rag in his mouth.
And he said, "Shh, she needs to think."
The tone inside Jester's head changes considerably. The profanities, the insults, the disgusting images about you are gone. All you can actually feel in your head too. All you can think about is that scalpel against his temple, and him just thinking, 6 hours. You can do it. 6 hours. 6 hours. Fuck them. Fuck them. Don't give them what they want. Mama, I'm sorry.
She'll like turn around and look at Al and go, "Hey, come here."
Al will stroke like one more time and then turn around reluctantly and walk back to Nora. Nora, you see his face. Once he turns around, this is really bothering him, like what he's doing.
She looks uncomfortable by it too, but she'll kind of pull you aside and be like, "He's really determined to last the 6 hours." He said something about mom.
Mom.
Yeah.
All right. Then we give him hope.
We need the frequency, Al. That's the only thing we need.
He nods. He says, "I need you to stop me and suggest that we hand him over to the police if he plays ball. After what we just told him will happen, being in jail has got to be a better option. Give him hope. Right now he has none."
Okay. So, hang on. Turn around and pretend like you're walking away from me defiantly.
Al nod, take a deep breath, close his eyes for a second, and then with a deadpan face again, turns around and starts walking away towards him.
Hey, I'm not done talking with you yet, she says loud enough for what's-his-face to hear.
Jester, Keaton.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we're done.
Listen, he's not gonna lighten up. Say we just... She like frowns and she looks at him. Tell you what. Give us the frequency and we'll hand you over to the cops. I'm sure a big shot like you could get out, right?
What? No, you promised.
Shut up!
A glimmer of hope shines in Jester Keaton's eyes as you can almost hear an audible, like, shuddering gasp in his head of, like, relief. All caution is thrown to the wind. He goes, "What's to stop you from torturing me after I give you the frequency? Tell you what, put me in the hands of some other cops, and before they haul me away, I'll give you the frequency."
Don't do this. He's mine.
Shut up!
Another small thought in his head. They really do hate each other.
She'll look over at Al and, like, she thinks to herself, she doesn't say it out loud, like, do we know any cops we could get over here? Patrick is a different cop. Okay, that's all her inner thought. Go get that guy, the one with the helmet, the other cop. The new guy, I can't remember his fucking name.
Al will look to her, look to him, actually like cry like ah, and then start walking away towards
Nora thinks to herself, I'm so sorry, Patrick.
And Al will leave the room where the others went.
Okie dokie. Wait, where the others went?
Well, I mean, they all left, so it's just
yeah, they all.
me
But
and
yeah, no, but they went up to the office. But I
Oh,
thought you were
where's
getting
Patrick?
Patrick. He's in
Oh.
he's in the
it's in the
van.
car.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Then I will leave towards the car.
Okay. All right, the van. All right. We'll get to you guys in a moment. Obviously, Lavin and Tom, you can kind of see this. I mean, when it's yelling, you can kind of hear it through the glass, but the rest of it's pretty much just pantomime before you. If you want to do or say anything at this point, let me know. If not, I can continue. We can wrap things up soon-ish. Don't worry.
Man. I hope they can
I
get
know
him to
things go-
talk. No.
Yeah.
I hope they can get him to talk. I mean, it'd be interesting if, like, they got me and I could do my whole fire aha thing, but I mean, I've got nothing for this. I mean,
I could care less if he talks. It's not my problem. I get paid whether he talks or not.
yeah, that's fair.
Let LPO deal with it.
It's true.
What was I gonna say? So, Nora,
Mhm.
after Al storms off, what do you do?
She has her back turned away from Keaton,
Just Kate,
Jester, and her arms are just folded, but she doesn't say anything. She still very poised and like in charge.
Do you keep the clairvoyant connection in his head?
As long as I can.
Oh, sorry, telepathic connection in his head. Okay, as long as
Yeah.
I think it lasts like a couple minutes or so, or like 5 minutes now. It's bananas. It hasn't been super long. I'll give you a few more trace things.
Okay.
When it comes, but Patrick, 2
minutes per level.
Oh wow. Okay,
Oh,
for
wow,
a very
that's-
very long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
All I can think of is the Mass Effect elevator music.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Do,
playing.
do,
It's
do,
nice
do.
soothing music for Patrick. And all of a sudden, the door opens, and Al comes storming out,
And
heads
then
towards the van.
he'll get about to Patrick's passenger door, and then he's going to throw up.
Oh, okay. You vomit on the gritty gravel ground of the alley.
And Patrick, you'll hear him say something about Nathan could always do this better than I could. Patrick,
Yeah.
sorry, buddy. We're gonna need your help.
Why'd you throw up?
Al says, I'm just sick to my stomach. That's all. I'm okay.
Okay.
We have him ready to talk. And Al would like quickly lay down what they've learned so far as quickly as he
Okay.
can, as briefly as he can, and he'd say,
All of it?
the big points that they use a radio frequency. There's going to be a meeting in 6 hours. He's expected to be there, and if he's not, they're all going to go to ground. He's going to mention that Al intends to use our magical device to impersonate his voice, and he's trying to get as much information about his part of the meeting as he can so that he can portray him. But he's refusing to talk because he thinks he has no hope. We're now going to pretend like if he plays ball, we'll hand him over to the police because that's a much better option for him. And we need you to act like you're the police, the good guy that we're going to hand them over to, that he's just going to go to jail, not. And Al will kind of be vague on what the not was.
Does Lavin
Okay.
see Al go towards the van?
Yeah. You see, use him take the exit towards the alleyway.
I'm gonna follow.
Okay. So, so actually, probably around this point, Lavin will also be coming out of the door.
You see
Probably
throw
a
up on the ground.
mid-explanation.
Yeah. You see throw up on the ground, and Al looks very
Almost out the
shaky.
van. Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
what's your sister gonna say about this?
About what?
Oh wow. You think your sister wants you doing this to find her?
Al will lean against the car and he'll say, he's ready to talk with as little damage and permanent suffering as possible. What would you have done? Broken his jaw? Punched him until he talked?
Nah, I'd ask him the questions. If he rejected, I'd either kill him or give him the LPO.
And if we do that, more innocents die, Lavin.
Maybe, maybe not. You can't say that. You got a crystal ball you looking into?
I can say that when it comes to innocent lives, maybe isn't good enough.
You don't know if what you're doing right now will cost more innocent lives. You don't know.
He looks at Lavin and he says, I know with a fairly high probability what I just did won't cost more innocent lives. If we fail, it will. If we bring down the Hell Riders, then, I mean, there's always a chance it'll make things worse, but I think that's a very slim chance. I don't like this, Levin. I hate it. But getting him to talk was vital to saving lives.
What if they start offing people to get at you now?
What do you mean?
Well, you've tortured their man.
They don't know that.
Okay, how long do they not know that? We gonna hand him over to the LPO? What if they got a guy on the inside? Hellrider finds out. You tortured their man.
How?
Now they're out for
Show
you.
the evidence.
You're saying there's evidence of you're saving people's lives. Where's your evidence? Just saying.
Al shakes his head and he says, my methods were far more kind than what the LPL probably would have done, or many governments I can think of.
So you're better than the worst?
Al says, I'm as evil as I have to be. And not 1 ounce more.
It's too bad, man. And yeah, I'd go. That'd be it.
Yeah, Patrick's just listening.
I know.
Just trying to lighten the mood a little bit.
Al would look at Patrick, who he's known for a very long time and has been very, very good friends. Like, he probably thinks of Patrick as a brother. And Patrick, Al's face is just like despair. No, yeah, well, Elf, obviously Elf, but Elfie despair. He is obviously very, very shaken up.
Okay. I'm not going to ask what that is right now.
God damn it. I want to follow you up and take you home. Continue.
Though I do want to know a bit more about the guy. You got anything that... You got anything on him? Like, he hates rabbits?
He hates getting kicked in the balls, and he really hates scalpels. But he's already broken. Patrick, we just need you to be the good guy, the hope. His chance of getting out of here without... I've threatened him very badly, Patrick. I'd never follow through, but he doesn't know that.
Okay, I'm trying to, like, make sure that I seem like, I don't know, a person that he would not immediately turn away anything that he likes.
I have an idea. When we go back inside, I'll start making towards him again with the scalpel. You tell me no a few times, and then punch me in the face. You hurting me will endear you to him. And will give him a chance.
Does he like cookies?
Al looks at Patrick and he says, please, Patrick. Honestly, I kind of deserve it.
But I really don't want to punch you.
All right. Then some other way. Show you have control over me.
No, so, like in anything. What does he like?
I don't know.
He likes anonymous sex with call girls.
Yeah.
Nice hands.
I
He
would
likes
say,
killing prostitutes.
I would say I don't know, but I know he's terrified of me, and if you keep me away from him, he will like you.
God, out of character. You guys are killing me.
I'm sorry,
Dude.
we don't have anything.
What do you mean you don't have anything?
Oh, you do. You so do.
What do we
What?
have?
What do
Well,
we have? He
I will
likes.
allow the metagame. I will
Okay,
allow it.
sure.
because we told
There
well,
has
you
been-
told him.
Inferno has multiply dropped one very important thing that would have been so cool to utilize.
What?
So he seems to specifically like his mother. Now, there has been specific notes about the body types of the whores and where he came from of a whore.
Mhm.
There is a distinct connection between those two things.
See, that's why we have a
Oh.
Patrick. I never would have thought of
I
that.
wouldn't have picked
Oh,
that up.
really? Psychology,
I was,
Batman.
I was afraid I was laying it on too thick.
No.
I missed
Oh.
that.
Yeah,
You're-
I missed
you're
it
good.
completely.
I'm
Plus-
not comfortable with the whole
plus-
mother hooker connection thing. Sorry. I didn't think of it.
Not
The
not
man
only
has
that,
issues.
but Patrick has been several times really not for like punching other people within
I
the
know,
group.
I know that for a
Like,
fact. But like honestly, I
Dude,
didn't think it's another way.
I am confused as to why you didn't go to Tom.
Well, because
because
you saw
Nora
Tom
said
Hanks.
Patrick.
you. Yeah.
Hey, he was the
Yeah.
first person I could think of, and he knows your face. He saw
Yeah.
you. He
So
didn't see Patrick. He didn't see Patrick.
You could have asked Lavin too. I'm perfectly willing to be the good guy in this
Once
situation.
again,
Wait, why aren't you guys listening? Because he saw your face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with us.
but we
And then
could
you
have
walked
said
away.
yes, but we
But
could
I'm
have
saying
said...
that's her thought process,
Okay,
though.
all right, I won't finish.
Uh,
All right, I understand. It was just the thought process at the spur of the moment. I understand Patrick does not like punching, and I couldn't think of another way. But that's a brilliant way.
Lavin would be totally happy to punch you.
Yeah, I have no doubt.
Hey, I'm gonna have to step us back, unfortunately, because
Mhm.
there's definitely. I was hoping we could end the session with him giving the coordinates, but things. I need to sleep.
I know.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I did 12 hours of work today. I am so dead. I can't
So,
take anymore.
unfortunately, on this emotional high note, we are going to have to end it.
To be continued.
sorry.
Dot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, for the sake of sleep. This got intense, but that's good. That's what makes interesting role playing. I hope. I hope this won't ruin everything. We'll find out.
Mm.
But thank you for watching, everyone. Stay
It has
tuned
been
next week.
a hoot.
It has
Stay
been a
fresh.
something.
Yes. See you guys Sunday.
Brought to you
Bye.
by Subway.